Command app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Packers getting ready for their matchup with the 500 San Francisco 49ers. The team that has ended 3 of their last 5 seasons in the postseason. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and from his undisclosed location, the man who owes it all to Ron Wolf. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tausch. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, Jason. How are you this morning?
I'm very good, but I know you sent Jesse on a errand, so I'm hoping we can get what you were looking for, so we can discuss that later in the show.
Oh, I thought you were going to throw it to me now, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to put Jesse in a bad spot, so I'm not going to go that route. I will pay off my tease from yesterday, though. And
you remember it?
Wow. I do. Yeah, I wrote it down right next to my happy birthday, Mom. I wrote it down.
78 years young.
She have a good birthday yesterday?
What'd you guys do?
Yeah,
Did you take her out to dinner?
I don't live right next to her, so no. I called her, and my brother took her out to dinner, and it sounds like a basketball game. I'm not going to get into it. There's a fun little twist there. I think they played a school that was – I don't even know. No, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not, because I don't know all the details. So I'm not going to go to – but anyways, she went and watched her grandchildren play sports, which I think she probably likes more than anything. They didn't quite get it done against a team that maybe doesn't hear at all. So when you do all that –
What?
Yeah, my dad used to always say that you'd play a blind team. If you didn't win any games, and it would be like, let's play the blank school of the blank and blank or whatever.
Right.
And last night, that was one of the first times I actually ever heard a team actually play.
The Milwaukee School for the Deaf or something to that effect. Yeah.
Something of that nature. Yeah. And I asked my mom, I said, how did they communicate and things? And she said it was really fascinating to watch. And that team beat this team, and I'm not even 100% sure what school, but that's where we're at. So it was a good battle. Sounds like everybody played well and played hard, but the School of the Deaf came away with a big win.
Sounds to me like you farm out your mom's birthday to the academy just like you do headlines.
Well, you could say a lot of stuff. That's a road. Trust me, you got to start delving into family. Jason, I'd love to hit where you're at on all that. That would be probably much better than where I'm at.
We'll save that for a digi only. It'll be brief. I can tell you that. So I'm glad that she had a great birthday. She is an amazing woman. I know I've mentioned this.
But you don't think she's a Hall of Famer, huh?
I didn't say that. I think she's a special contributor. No, I think she's a special contributor. Which you don't have to worry about any of my family being in that class. So,
fair enough.
I would just say this. For those that don't know, Tausch's dad, Denny, and his mom, Diane, traveled to a lot of his games when he was playing. And Tom Oates, columnist emeritus of the Wisconsin State Journal, and myself, and John Mason
Tom's
usually.
Been by the way, I love Tom Oates. Tom Oates is just a good dude.
If you know wonderful.
Tom,
as long as he's not on deadline.
Very well versed in Wisconsin sports. How many years has he been retired now?
Too long. He does a podcast.
He is throwing fastballs yet. He is still.
It's like Nolan
Ryan.
Ryan.
A lot of smoke lately.
Yeah.
He's throwing a lot of smoke lately.
Anyway,
sure.
Somehow, at least multiple times per season, either on our way to the team's destination or on our way back from said destination for road games, we were always on the Tauscher family flight. So I actually got to know Denny and Diane way better than probably any other set of parents of any player. In addition to being your unofficial biographer. And so, yes, she's fantastic. I'm glad we were able to pin down how old she was and celebrate her and discuss what her induction might look like into the Wilde and Tausch Hall of Fame. And I'm glad that she had a lovely birthday.
That's good.
Especially after her son said, "Oh, I don't want to say how old she is." And then when you figured it out, yeah, she's 78. So,
well, in fairness, she texted me about how old she was. So And then she actually Wilde it. And I talked to her yesterday, and she said, you didn't even know. And I said, well, I was in the ballpark. I said, you weren't 80, and you weren't quite. And she corrected my own, because I said 76, 77. And she said, you never said 78. And I said, I'll have to go back and check the tape. And
Yeah. I
she
told you I liked her.
in not quite so real time.
Well, I'm glad she had a great birthday, and we appreciate her support of our show.
She doesn't think I'm a shill for the Packers, though. She did mention
Nobody.
that.
All right. No. Okay.
No,
so
Tommy. No. I don't want to get. I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to bring that out.
Okay.
Can I get to my point, my tease, or do you want to go into how?
No, there's a shill in the air. You just go right ahead. I'm fine.
There you go. There is a shill. So you wrote a really good article. It should have been a Sunday article about Christian Watson, and I think it's in tomorrow's State Journal.
It's in this morning.
The print edition. I think it's in tomorrow's print, though.
Oh, is it?
Today is digital. I actually have no idea, and you know I don't have any idea. Okay. But
why am I listening to you?
The Christian Watson growth arc and where he's at, I think, has been really good. And how he handled Romeo Dobbs and all of that stuff. So you're always looking for young players to kind of show that growth. And I teased out yesterday that there is another player that I think we maybe haven't given the right amount of love to from a growth standpoint. And who do you think? So Christian Watson, definitely. Lucas Van Ness, I wish I would have seen. I've seen more. I haven't. Who do you think I'm going to say?
Who do I think has shown so much growth and has not gotten credit for it?
Gotten the love, yeah.
Can you give me an offense or defensive hint at
Offensive
least?
player. Yep, I was just going to say that. He's an offensive player.
An offensive player. You're not going to tell me Tucker Kraft.
No.
Because he's gotten
Tucker
lots
Kraft's
of love.
A dog. Yeah, he's loved all over the place.
And you're not going to tell me you're not.
Why don't you just tell me who I am going to say instead of you're going to go through a list of 10 guys? You're not going to say.
You're not going to tell me Zach Tom because that's not an issue on this program.
He's a dog.
Right.
I couldn't be more in love with Zach.
Are you saying? I'm just trying to understand the parameters before I give my answer. Are you saying on this show?
You're not going to say Josh Jacobs.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to say Josh Jacobs that way.
So we're
either.
now going to turn this into let's just go through who we're not going to say until you find out.
No. I just wanted to understand, is it our show or is it the fan base writ large that is not delivering
writ large
enough?
Writ large.
Rasheed Walker.
Yes, you nailed it. Thank you. You're not going to say Rasheed Walker.
Here's the thing. You could argue that those guys beyond our show probably don't, like, there's no way Zach Tom gets anything close to the amount of love that he gets on this show with two former right tackles.
I would agree.
While I'm sure there are people that recognize, like Tucker Kraft has been quiet the last several weeks, I might add. I don't even know if he was targeted other than on the interception on Sunday. But again, the South Dakota and everything we got going on here, those two guys, I'm not sure the greater love is as nearly as high as it is here. So that's why I wanted to clarify. And then Rasheed Walker. Yes. Why do you feel like Sheed isn't getting the love?
Well, I'm not saying he's not getting the love. I'm saying he has shown a lot of growth in where he's at in his career. Here you have a seventh round pick. Hold up, let me explain.
Seventh round pick. Jesse, he said he wasn't getting enough love, right? I didn't mishear that.
Sorry, I've been listening to Paul Finebaum audio for the last 10 minutes, but I think I found what we're looking for.
So here is the deal, Jason. Yesterday I teased. You were talking. I said growth. I don't think anyone has, and by saying someone has really shown a lot of growth, that in turn means I'm showing them love, and that you're getting that appreciation that you're getting. Sure. So it goes hand in hand. But the premise of the conversation yesterday was someone that has really taken a step both professionally and personally as far as how they're doing their business. Okay. That is what I was talking about. And I think we've seen a lot. You know, obviously what Christian did through the Romeo Dobbs incidents and how he led and everything else. But I just think the reason this kind of popped into my head is, and I apologize for the Twitter folks that I don't cite when they tweet at me because I don't bookmark stuff. Someone sent me a note about how many pressures and sacks Rasheed Walker's given up. Not a ton. And what he's been able to do with, is he good enough to play? He's got a platoon with old boy last year. Well, he takes that job. They draft Jordan Morgan. He's going to take that job. Jordan Morgan basically said, I'm going to be the left tackle at G&G.
He did.
And you see Rasheed Walker, none of that bothered him. He comes on that tailgate tour. He jumps on our show. You would have thought that he's the non-disputed champ on a left tackle spot. That's what you would have thought. It never fazed him. He's in there from day one. He doesn't miss practice. He's not missing work. He doesn't miss reps. He doesn't miss games. And he just goes about his business and he shuts down really good players. Now, is he perfect? He's not. But is he a really good NFL left tackle? Yep. And you factor all that in with now he's getting involved in the community and he's just that guy. I think we talk about all this other stuff, and the beautiful part for Sheed, how many times have we even brought him up? He doesn't have. He's had penalties early in the season. He's cleaned that up. And we have not talked about him in 2 months. The longest month ever of October. I don't think we ever brought his name up. He's doing bowling outings. And I think when I'm talking about growth and Christian Watson, I just thought with that tweet being a reminder, I don't think we've given Sheed enough credit and or love for what he's done in these 2 years. And with all of the draft talk yesterday and the disappointments that some fans have with Goody's picks, he nailed it with the Sheed. And Sheed has been fantastic for what we've asked him to do.
Well, not only that, but when you make those picks, like with you, right? I mean, you're a great example of this. Or Micah Hyde, who was a 6th-round pick or a 5th-round pick? I think he was a 5th-round pick out of Iowa.
Evan Williams or Micah Hyde?
Well, one and the same. Evan Williams went one draft round ahead of him. But my point is if you miss on someone, if you have someone else, it's like the Brett Conway, Ryan Longwell, your classmate in the class of 2000.
Brock Purdy, Trey Lance.
Sure. So if you cover yourself when you make a mistake, then the mistake isn't nearly as painful for your roster. The problem comes in when you get something wrong and you don't get something else right to make up for it, or you get something kind of right and then you pay the player a large sum of money and then he's taking up a big chunk of your salary cap and not performing. So Goody has avoided most of those scenarios, even though, like Ron Wolf, he has missed on a fair number of first-round picks, or at least not gotten what you would hope to get out of first-round picks. Now, we'll see what Jordan Morgan becomes, but I'm fascinated that you used the 25th overall pick on a guy that they sure seem like they see him as a guard, right? Like they've played him at guard, and obviously his rookie season has been injury derailed. But now that they've seen enough from Rasheed Walker, it sure seems like they don't have any plans on playing Jordan Morgan at tackle. My question for you is this now, because I brought up the paying people. We know Zach Tom is a dog, as you just stated. You got to pay him.
Yes.
Do you have to pay Rasheed Walker too?
Well, you have another year where you don't have to worry about it. And then do I think they're going to pay a top-notch right tackle dollar, and they're going to try and get Zach Tom for less than what Penei Sewell got? We'll see how that shakes out. And I would be shocked if those conversations aren't happening right now. I would think that Zach Tom is at the top of the list. With Romeo's situation, how it played out, I thought that they would attack and try to get him done. I don't think Romeo Dobbs, I just don't envision that. I don't, for as much as you can say move on and everything else, I'll believe that when I see it. I think this case, Zach Tom, I would think if you can use that cap money before the end of the season, it should be used on Zach Tom. And then once you do that, then you figure out you can start piecing things together. And if Sheed has another great year next year, you don't let good young players walk out your building.
No, unless
Ask
you're the
New
Giants.
York Football Giants. God. It's true. It's true.
You also don't let cold air blow into your building if you have Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yeah, and don't spend another winter shivering at home with that wind howling through your windows. Take advantage of this deal at Pella. No interest, no payments. It's a pretty good win today. And no payments for those 12 months. Keep your home comfortable. Save on those ever-rising energy bills thanks to customizable windows and doors from Pella. Pella can design them to look like they've been a part of your home throughout its history. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions to apply. This offer ends at the end of November.
We'll get ready for Brian Bulaga. He's scheduled to appear at 9:30, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Probably the most frustrating part about all of it, though, is that they have the ingredients that it takes in order to take that next step as a football team, in order to be a team that could potentially evolve into a threat for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens for AFC supremacy. It's just that they don't lean in. I don't understand why the Houston Texans decided to stop giving Joe Mixon the ball in the second half. And when you look at their offensive line and how bad it is when it comes to straight drop back situations, why would you want to keep putting C.J. Stroud up against it? Lean on Joe Mixon. This is the identity that the Houston Texans need to forge if this is going to be a team that's going to avoid being one and done in the playoffs. Because right now, they would be matched up against the L.A. Chargers, and I don't see any world where this version of the Houston Texans could be competitive in that game.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I don't know where you are, but I get to keep these memories forever. Oh,
Getting ready for Brian Bulaga.
Jason, how do you think Sheed is viewed right now, just as from a beat writer standpoint, from a fan standpoint? How do you think, give me the sentence to describe Rasheed Walker.
Steady. Guy that does his job. Not flashy. Not a big personality like his predecessor at that position. Just gets the job done.
Okay. Good qualities to have.
Oh. You know who that sounds like?
Cliffy?
No. No, Cliffy, boring.
Dang.
You
know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? There is nobody I played with that's less boring.
Right, but I had a point, if I may finish.
Oh. Del Griffith, it's good to
it
have
is,
a beginning, have
it
a
makes it
middle,
so much more interesting for the listener. Like a chatty Cathy dog. Bah, bah, bah. We got to pair that up with Steve Martin since Thanksgiving is coming and see how close I got.
Town. You know, that's a damn rare thing these days.
But he always chose to be so boring with us as reporters, and I knew he had more of that in him, but he just kept it under wraps. You were really interesting, and then you came back, and then you were just absent. Like, you did not want you savvy veteran, just didn't come in the locker room at all. We wore you out early in your career, Wisconsin guy. Yes,
I'm going to say this. There was never a time after a game that I was not available, that I played in that I was not available. Ever.
It's true. During the week, not very available.
I didn't. Listen, man, if I didn't have something to give you guys and you didn't.
It's time of the trading table. I had to get ready for practice.
Well, it took a lot to get out to practice at that point in my career. And if I'm not going to give you guys, why would I waste your time? If you wanted to request, I'd come do it. But I wasn't going to give you guys anything, so it didn't pay
That's
for
not
me
true.
to be out there.
No, I always got something from you, but
okay.
You just couldn't help yourself, much like on this show. All right, we need to get to Brian Bulaga because I like to make sure that we maximize our time with him. So why don't you tell us about Kohler Services so we can actually get to him on time?
Hey, that would be nice. Jason's doing a remodel of the show clock, and if you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life in this month only. 0 interest financing for 12 months, and you don't get to hear me sing anymore, but you get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel. So you get 0 interest financing, 12 months, and $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation. Well, that is always included. Again, KohlerServicesWI.com.
Brian Bulaga joins us.
I kind of miss not having a free shower door. I'm not going to lie.
A free shower door.
It'll be back at some point. It always comes back.
Thank you.
We can reach out to Doug, see if he can find a way to fit that into the budget for Kohler Services, just so you can sing. But I don't know if that's how business works.
You can come up with a new song.
Don't do this, Brian. We're going to get sidetracked.
Let's go.
Brian Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch. On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
The big guy needs your help this holiday season, and he's recruiting the Corners of Brookfield for help because the perfect gift is right around the corners. Head to the Corners for all your gifting needs and find something for anyone thanks to their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. Or just wrap up a Corners gift card to create a great, well-rounded gift. Looking for something only Santa can deliver? Drop off letters in a special North Pole mailbox in the Market Square through December 22nd. Make your shopping list and check it twice. Visit the Corners of Brookfield.com.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Number 15 Marquette passed a big early season test as they beat number 6 Purdue 76-58 at Fiserv Forum. Senior guard Stevie Mitchell scored a game-high 21 points to go along with 4 steals as MU forced 15 Boilermaker turnovers, which led to 18 points.
Stolen by Stevie Mitchell will come the other way. In the lane, to the basket, layup is good. It's like he can hear you, Marquette up a deuce.
Next up for the 5-0 Golden Eagles, a trip to the Bahamas on Saturday to face Georgia.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Fluellen, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Rick Papandrea is joining me. How special is it for you being able to watch people see their quality of life return?
There's no doubt that the efficiency is great for everybody. It's very rewarding as a surgeon to take care of somebody and see them get better. But to have them come in and do it in a seamless fashion is really exciting. One case comes to mind. We had a young girl who was doing some cartwheels, and she came in with a broken elbow, and everything lined up, maybe more so than even is typical. She needed special care. She needed her elbow fixed with a very particular fracture that is difficult to fix. And not only is it difficult to fix, but it can be somewhat complicated by stiffness. So with my specialty of my background, I do a lot of elbow arthroscopy, which isn't very common. And we had her in the operating room later that day where I was able to arthroscopically reduce and fix her elbow fracture. And she was back to a normal kid about 2 months later.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Monica, what delightful surprise do you have for us this Christmas?
I've been waiting all day for your big reveal.
Take a look and tell me what you see.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I see the North Star, that guiding light that always lets you know where you are.
The North Star is important to you?
Sitting directly above the axis of the Earth, it's the only star in the sky that never moves. It's always there for you.
Sarah?
I see the star that stood high over Bethlehem 2,000 years ago.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might.
Monica, it's fabulous.
Nicole Lasker designed it.
I love her.
What's it called?
The Star of Hope. We have them in sterling silver with 4 diamonds for just $198. And in white gold with bigger and bigger diamonds at prices up to $19.98.
I love it.
I love it even more than Rick does.
The Star of Hope.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Ewald Automotive Group's Black Friday sales event is back. Now through November 30th. Get up to $10,000 in rebates, plus up to 10% off or 0% financing. All with Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Our biggest savings, lowest rates, maximum trade values, and huge selection. Now through month end at every Ewald location.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
On select models with approved credit, all rebates and incentives to dealer. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
You might not know I'm here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
America needs farmers. I think he won an award from them. And Wilde and Tausch need Brian Bulaga. Brian, good morning. How are you?
Good, guys. How we doing?
We are fabulous. When I say Rasheed Walker, you say what?
The left tackle of the Green Bay Packers.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. That's factual.
Do you mean based on his play as of last week, or what are you looking for?
Yeah,
I can help. I just want to know what you're looking for.
No, I know you can help. That was kind of how Tausch posed it to me. Is just, when you think of him, what do you think of? Because he certainly is not David Bakhtiari, right? No. Not a colorful personality, and he's not a 5-time All-Pro either. In fairness. So what do you think of him in terms of his persona, his play, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so, I got to know him a little bit on the tailgate tour this last spring, which he is a quiet guy. He's a little more reserved, maybe because he didn't know me, so he was maybe a little more reserved around me compared to maybe Elton, who I played with and I had a friendship with him, but he was a nice kid, really nice kid. He seemed like he was a very driven individual that really wanted that job, that left tackle spot, which he earned it in training camp fairly early, if we all remember, right? that position was called almost week 2 in camp, essentially.
Yeah, earlier than the election.
Yeah, exactly. Which was when was that? 2 weeks ago? Election talk. Whoa, Nelly!
But in fairness, California still has almost all of their stuff still out. They haven't even counted half.
Nelly! And I'm fairly
you
certain,
asked. I didn't bring it up.
But I'm just saying,
I didn't ask.
I think Pennsylvania is still counting votes in a Senate race.
There's a lot of stuff going on. All right, Blue. Here we go.
But anyway, back to the left tackle.
There we go.
Back to the left tackle.
Next up on WTMJ, Bulaga and Wilde break down the Senate races.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun.
It's only fraud if we're losing. Anyway, go ahead, please.
Whoa, Nelly! But, it's
Rasheed Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheed.
I just heard whoa, Nelly like 100
times. I'm going to reset and let you go. So here's basically where I was coming from the first half hour of the show. Jason wrote an article about Christian Watson, who I think we all agree obviously had a monster game, but the way he handled that Romeo Doubs situation in his growth as a player, but really as a dude and a guy in that locker room, I think he took ownership of that room when someone needed to. And then his play and everything else. And my point was, and somebody tweeted this at me, that Rasheed Walker has been real steady. He's not given up a ton of stuff. He's gotten those penalties that he had in the beginning of the season. He's cleaned that up. And with him taking that on, it's not easy. Jordan Morgan is drafted. He basically comes out and says, I'm going to be the left tackle during mini camps. And she just kind of sat there like, okay, yeah, that's cute, but no, it's my job. And he's gotten involved in the community. And I think he has been one of those guys we hadn't talked about. And Blue as an O-lineman, that's a great place to be when nobody's saying, because you're just out there getting your job done. That's kind of the premise of what we're talking about with Sheed this morning.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. I think early on in the season, we all talked about it. I think there were a lot of penalty issues. I think he gave up a couple cheap sacks and hits early on in the season. I think that was talked about, and I think the conversation was like, what's going on? Is he going to be all right? Was this the right? And it was like, all right, it's early. Like, let him, there's a lot of pressure at left tackle, regardless what we think about the left and right tackles, debate these days of what position is, what it means, right? Like, there's still a lot of pressure on the left tackle. And for a guy that, you don't want to say he's looking over his shoulder, but he's going to be looking over his shoulder because they drafted a first-round pick. He said he's going to be like, there's pressure with that, right? So you have to expect and give him a little bit of time to build into the season as well. Everyone gets time to build in the season, and he made mistakes early on. But But as of late, like you said, you haven't heard much. And I literally, before I jumped on this, I spun through the tape one more time just to go over, because I had a feeling we'd be talking O-line. So I wanted to watch. And he consistently showed up really well on tape. He showed up really well. He had a couple bad runs, but from a pass blocking perspective, he did really well. He had a really nice day. So to your point, under the radar is good for offensive linemen. If your name's not getting called, that's a good thing. If your number's not getting called on TV, that's a really good thing. If you play in these big time games or marquee matchups where you got the main broadcast and Tom Brady or Collinsworth isn't circling your matchup on, the teleprompter and saying, look what's happening out here, that's a good thing. Because most of the time, if they're circling it, that means you're getting whooped. And that's not happening with him. So it's a credit to him, because a lot of the times, Tausch, you know this, when things, especially early on in the season, when things go negatively for offensive linemen, there's a chance that can spiral and snowball, right? And the way Green Bay has done things in the past, they're very quick to rotate, right? They're very quick to say, hey, if you're not getting it done, we're going to platoon now. We're going to rotate in and out and see who can battle for this job. And Green Bay stuck to it, obviously, and he fought through it and played his way out of it. And he's been very solid. So, credit to him. I think he's done a very nice job. And this week will be another test, because the guy rushing across from him isn't a joke. So that's where we go this week, because Bosa is not he's not the guy from the Bears. We'll just say that, right? He's not. I don't know who the guy from the Bears was. It's not Bosa, right? He didn't go against Montez Sweat like Zach Tom did every snap. Zach Tom went against Sweat every snap.
Did Sweat play? I never heard his name.
No, Zach Tom, I think, gave up maybe a pressure early on in the game.
Yeah, it was a lunch.
I know there was lunch. Yeah, Zach Tom, I think there was one play that I think Montez Sweat, I think Zach Tom tripped over maybe Sean Ryan's feet and he fell down, and it looked like he got knocked over. Yeah, but I think he got
trying
tripped.
to level the playing field for Montez.
But it's good that you got two of your tackles playing at a high level going into this 49ers matchup, because the 49ers, that's where they make their hay, is on the edges. That's how they, that's kind of what we want to do on our defenses. That's where the pressure and disruption happens, is on the edges, and we haven't done it. But that is where the 49ers get their work in, is on the edges. So this will be a big matchup for them this week.
So, Blue, Bosa got hurt in that last game, and they don't know if he's going to play. I'm sure he'll try to gut it out, but it's an oblique. Obliques are, you had obliques. I don't have an oblique. You can't pull an oblique that's not there. So when
Who
you
said
look at all
can't
that,
pull fats? Who was the coach that said
somebody
that?
really smart.
There was a coach who said that.
Oh, John Daly did.
But it was John Daly did that.
John Daly didn't miss a ton of time. He didn't miss a ton of time with cold muscles. That's for sure. But if you're approaching this game, you're going to say all the right things. You don't want him playing, right? You're all right if Bosa's out, right?
Oh, yeah, but I'm certainly not upset about it. I'll tell you that much. Also, if he does play, it depends on, I don't know which oblique it is, but there's going to be a big deficiency in his power with how he goes about his pass rush moves, right? There's a lot, the way he rushes, he is a big power rusher, and he torques a lot inside, and he bull rushes up the field and kind of tries to throw guys up the field and rush back into the quarterback after about 3-4 steps. And if you got a badly pulled oblique and you're playing through that, that's going to affect how you're able to move 300-pound men up the field and rush back inside. So even if he does play with it injured, it's going to, if it's bad and he got removed from the game, he didn't finish the game, it's going to hamper him. So I didn't know that, obviously, so that's good for me to know. Talking out of turn there, but I should be paying attention to the 49ers more. Clearly, I should
maybe do a little more prep. But, exactly.
What's the deal?
So wait a minute. We're not doing this. So you watch the film.
Yeah, come on, Blue.
Down to the minutest detail. In fact, you even say in the moments before you came on the show, I just spun through the film again. We're not going to kill you for not knowing that he's got a pulled oblique. So don't be so hard on yourself.
Okay. And I'm not even sure it's an oblique. In fairness, Blue, I don't even know it's an oblique. That's what it was reported as. But I just remember Aaron Donald when he did this, and he had ribs, and Jason's like, he'll be fine. It's like, dude,
I was wrong.
It's not how it works. And, Blue, you know this. You blocked him. He is a beast, and he uses strength. And if he doesn't have that leverage and everything else, he is not going to be Bosa. And that changes the whole dynamic of their defense, and that changes the whole dynamic of how you have to look at adjusting. Are you confident, even if Bosa was 100% healthy, you all right letting him and Zach Tom just battle it out like two bulls in a ring? Or are you helping and chipping and doing that stuff if you're Matt LaFleur?
I'm okay with letting him and Zach Tom battle it out. I think if he's over Sheed, I'd give him a little bit of help. Sheed has tendencies to play a little high at times, and that's what Bosa exposes really well. Because he's, unlike his brother Joey, he plays a lot lower. And what Nick does really well is he's able to expose the guys that play a little bit higher and play with great leverage to work his pass rush moves. But, I mean, I still think that Sheed would be okay. You know what I mean? I mean, we look at the playoff game last year. I think he did a nice job last year. So, like, it's not like it's not on tape that he can't do it. He can do it. I mean, it's even if he's 100%, there's not many tackles in the NFL, even today, that, like, you want to leave on an island one-on-one with Bosa 100% of the time, right? There's a couple. Tunsil, like, the guy on his own team, Trent Williams, you would probably do it. You know, I'm trying to think of the guys that, I mean, maybe
Sewell,
the kid from Baltimore. No, I would say Sewell. I'd leave Sewell on an island with him one-on-one.
What about Tausch's guy Christian Darrisaw when he's healthy?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I
mean, I think he's good, but I think he's good,
He's
but
an athlete now.
I think at times he would need assistance, and that's no knock on any guy. Like, are you gonna let guys just like Myles Garrett tee off on a tackle 30 times a game? Probably not, right? You're gonna help him out a few times a game. It just is what it is. Like, you know, another good left tackle I got to play with him was Rashawn Slater. As good as I think he is, I think he needs help every now and again. That's just what he gave up 2 sacks to Myles Garrett when they played Cleveland. That's life, right? Like, you need help against these top-tier edge rushers. So, like, no matter how good our two guys are playing, a little built-in help never hurts is where I'm trying to get at.
All right, Brian, we want to go. I think we flipped our tackle talk.
We went early today.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just saying. Now,
so,
I want
Blue,
to get...
before we move off of O-line, Josh Myers, what do you think? How did you think he came back from obviously having the bye and the injury, and how did you think the inside guys played?
I thought they did good. I thought Myers came back. I mean, there was a couple signs of rust with him, but I really think that he brings kind of like a sense of calmness to that group. I think continuity and how he makes the calls and gets everyone on the same page, and I think Jordan obviously trusts him a lot. Right? I mean, there doesn't seem like a bunch of communication happening, and that's a road game in a hostile environment. It seems like one call's getting made, and they're all on the same page, and they're rolling with it. And that's a testament to the center making the proper ID right away, and they're going. And there were times you could see it from the tape. He and Elton were talking. The two elder statesmen were talking and making adjustments between each other. But that's what you would expect between those two guys, just like same way Sitton and TJ would do it from across the center to Corey and would be yelling at each other across court, make sure Corey knew what he was doing when he was a rookie. But I thought they did okay. I mean, again, the Bears did a nice job. What the Bears were doing a nice job of, I mean, Jacobs had a nice day, like running the football. There were a lot of big running lanes that that were exposed on Chicago. But what they did a good job of Chicago is they did a lot of line movement, a lot of quick slants and things like that, run stunts. That we got beat on a couple times, right? Some good run pressures that they did that they got after us a few times on. But for the most part, I thought our guys did a good job in pass blocking and run blocking. I thought it was a good day from them. And people may say, well, then why did the offense sputter? Like
they didn't get any plays.
Sometimes, sometimes these things, I was watching the first 3 series. They couldn't have been any different. Like, you watch the first series and it just looks so effortless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just work right down the field and you're like, this is going to be a blowout. Like, you see the way they're doing it. And then the second series comes and you're like, what are we doing here? Then the third series comes and they're moving the ball again. And like, all right, here we go. And then we get inside the 5 and it's just an absolute, like brain fart. And here we go again. And it's just, and that's not that has nothing to do with the offensive line, what happened there. Like, I rewatched it over and over again. I'm like, all right, what'd they do wrong here? And it had nothing to do with it. And it's just, and I don't know what, I mean, hey, LaFleur's he's looking at all these things, right? Like, when he goes from series to series, he looks at all these things and he's seeing the defense and he's getting all the reports from up in the box from Steno and from all the analytics guys and what Chicago's doing. And I don't know what those reports were, right? No one really knows what those reports were, but there was a change from what they were doing in that first series to the second series. Then it started to work again in the third series. Then they got away from it down in the red zone. Like, there was definitely a shift in what they did. I mean, they only ran 43 plays or whatever the heck it was. Like, it was like nothing. Yes. They did
crazy.
There wasn't many thick, cracks at the table. So overall, I think the guys had a nice day up front. It's just sometimes you can have a good day and the offense looks like crap, and that's kind of what it was.
Especially when you only get 46 plays on offense, that makes it awfully difficult to get things going. And we'll talk a little bit about the defense coming up because we have a theory and we have a first-round pick on the panel. The first-round picks on the defense, not super productive or consistent. And we'll talk a little bit with Brian about the expectations that come with that draft status, because Tausch did not have that draft status. He was a 7th-round pick. But he always
sticking knives in people, don't you? You are such
what do you
a
mean?
prodder. You're just a prodder. You're a prodder.
You built a magnificent career.
Blue, does Wilde prod? Does he like to throw subtle little jabs like, well, Tausch, you don't know anything about that, having high expectations, anything like that. Hey, Blue, what about what's his name from Seattle? How many times does he bring up what's his face from Seattle? That's what you do.
I don't even know who you're referring to.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruce
Packer
Irvin.
fans, ready for some game day excitement? Well, next time you're at Lambeau, Wilde will jab you, and you can stop by the American Family Insurance Title Townhouse and experience the thrill of making a game-saving play with our interactive Protect the End Zone game. Plus, don't miss out on all the amazing giveaways from exclusive Packers merch to special prizes. It's always a little something for everybody. Visit us at Titletown to make your game day unforgettable. For more info, check out amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
I thought that's what went on in offense.
Boom.
Yeah, I thought that's what you guys did in the offensive line meeting room. I'm just trying to
fit
in.
You ain't an O-lineman, brah.
That's
you
true.
You ain't an O-lineman. You want to be.
I am a wannabe. There's no doubt about that. More with Brian Bulaga next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Financial literacy can make a huge impact on the success of our future leaders by engaging in hands-on courses, teaching essential skills like budgeting, savings, and investing. Junior Achievement at Wisconsin is helping prepare students for a future of financial success and independence. Bring these vital lessons to your school or community. Visit wisconsin.ja.org to learn more. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Confidence and strength begin with how you feel. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, it is not about just looking good. It's about results that last and empower you. With 5 convenient locations in Delafield, Mequon, Brookfield, Middleton, and Sheboygan, their team of world-class plastic surgeons, skilled clinicians, and expert estheticians are here to help you take control. Whether it's advanced skincare, anti-aging treatments, body contouring, or muscle strengthening, Quintessa has everything you need to sharpen your image and boost your confidence. Take the first step towards a stronger, more confident you. Visit myquintessa.com today.
All you men, listen up. It's future Mrs. Brust here. I want to tell you about my wonderful experience at Robert Hack Diamonds. My fiance Ben and the team at Robert Hack picked out my dream engagement ring for me, and then I personally worked with their team to pick out the perfect wedding band. Experience what I did at Robert Hack Diamonds. Stop in at their Brookfield or Greenfield location. While you're there, mention ESPN and spend at least $2,000 right now on any of their in-stock jewelry and get a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. It's a deal you can't pass up. If it wasn't for Robert Hack Diamonds and their team of jewelry experts, I wouldn't have trusted my fiancé Ben to make the right call. View what they have in stores online at roberthackdiamonds.com and get free diamond stud earrings. All you have to do is mention ESPN at their Brookfield or Greenfield locations when purchasing at least $2,000 of in-stock jewelry. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Panther Arena is the place to be this weekend as Milwaukee men's basketball hosts the Cream City Challenge presented by Cream City Mortgage. The action gets underway on Friday at 7 as the Panthers take on Portland State. Saturday's matchup for Milwaukee is a 3 p.m. game versus Wofford, plus a Sunday matinee against St. Thomas with tip-off at 1:30. Each day features 2 basketball games for one price. Lock in your seats now for the Cream City Challenge this weekend at Panther Arena. Help tilt the floor. Visit MKEPanthers.com to select your seat. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Hey, new music for you, Blue. Sister Hazel. Love them back in the 90s.
Sorry.
I wouldn't even said anything. Jesse brought it up. So, Brian, again, Mark Tauscher never had to worry about the expectations of being a first-round pick. You did. And we can go back farther than just Brian Gutekunst's first-round picks on defense and go all the way back to one of our favorite guys and one of your former teammates, Kenny Clark, who has not been super productive this season, right? Then we get to Jair Alexander, Rashawn Gary, Darnell Savage, who's not here anymore, Eric Stokes, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, and Lucas Van Ness. That's a lot of first-round draft capital on the defense. And I don't want to be knee-jerky because of one substandard game, because I think their defense has been pretty good this season. No, we talked about this yesterday. I'm just carrying it through to Brian to get his thoughts. It's not like the defense has been bad. They were definitely not good enough on Sunday against the Bears. But when you look at the production they've gotten from those guys this season, they have succeeded as a unit despite not getting a ton of productivity from those former first-round picks. Am I looking at this wrong by looking at their draft class at this point, or is that a reasonable question to ask?
I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that, yeah, I mean, the draft capital that has been used, especially the first round on defense, it hasn't been producing the way that you would expect at least, we'll say, 3 of them to do, right? Like, I mean, what'd you name off there? 7 guys, 6 guys, or whatever it was. You would expect, 3 of them to be, producing at a very high level. Now, let's, I kind of rewind and think about it. Jair, obviously has been injured, and, he's had some issues with that. But when he's been out there, I think he's been good. Has he been I forgot which year he was his all-pro self. I forgot what year that was. But I think he's been good.
20 or 20 and 21.
I think he's been good. I think Rashawn prior to the ACL was good. He, obviously, since the ACL, he hasn't been himself. And then we can look at the rest of the guys as well. And I think we can all come to a consensus that, like, they haven't produced for what they were drafted and where they were drafted. I mean, a lot of these guys were higher picks, right? I guess I don't know where Green Bay's, where they were or where each guy was slotted at. I would imagine. I think a couple guys were high, right? I think a couple guys were
Rashawn
fairly
Gary was 12.
Lucas was 13. Rashawn 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So a couple guys were fairly high. So, but I guess that doesn't even matter, right? When you take that many guys on one side of the ball in the first round, you're expecting at least, like I said, 3 to 4 of them to hit, and for them to be major players on your defense and be second contract guys on your defense. That's why you invest in the draft on them, because you want to draft them and keep them for second contracts. And and that is most likely not going to be the case for the Packers. And when you do that, right, when you draft guys in the first round and you technically don't re-sign them and you miss on them, that does a little damage, because now you have to go out looking for replacements, right? And whether that's in free agency, which will cost you, potentially more money than re-signing your guys, or you have to go spend more capital on that in the draft when you already have 3 or 4 years ago.
If Darnell Savage is who you thought he was, you don't sign Xavier McKinney. But because he wasn't, you go get him. And look, I don't want to be critical, because
it ends
up being a positive, and it ends up being the right decision. But that was not the plan when you drafted Darnell Savage. He was supposed to be a guy who's your guy for the next decade.
Yeah.
Like you.
So, listen, and yes, that ends up being a net positive, but we can't do that at every one of those positions. Like, you can't go pay top dollar at every single position for the first round picks that don't work out. Like, it's not sustainable that way, right? So, it's good. It worked out with X because he's an absolute stud, and we obviously a big upgrade in the position. And it's already paying off in the first season. Like, no complaints. Obviously, no complaints. But you can't go now get a top-tier linebacker in free agency and pay him $13-14 million a year, and then the following year go get a 3-tech for $18 million. Like you just can't do it. Like
Right.
It's not sustainable. That's why you have to draft and develop and re-sign, and that's how Green Bay's always done it. That's why they've done it, because it keeps you in a very cap-friendly situation that you can continue to do it over and over and over. And when you miss on first-round picks and you can't re-sign them, that has an impact. I mean, it does have it. And it's why you see a lot of teams that continue to struggle because they miss on first-round picks. And it's why we're seeing teams like Detroit do really well recently, because they're hitting on those first-round picks. And that's a really good example of it, actually, since Dan Quinn's taken over.
So
Blue,
go ahead.
Blue, can you give us a little bit? Can you tell us a little bit about where Kenny Clark's at? Because a lot of, I'm not going to say vitriol, but a lot of online stuff and figuring out where he's been, because he has not had the impact this season. He just got big fat new extension. They don't give extensions to. They don't give third contracts very often. Thank you, Jason, for finishing my sentence.
Welcome.
And they did, and I think I'm a Kenny Clark guy. I think he has been a great Packer. He's a Packer Hall of Famer. What do you think of where he's at right now?
Yeah, that was a guy that I missed when I was going through it. I mean, Kenny has been, like you said, a fantastic player since he was a rookie there, right? I mean, I think he's been great. And yeah, he got the new deal, a big deal this offseason. And this season, I think you're right. He is struggling, and I'm a Kenny Clark fan. I am. So I'm not gonna go in on Kenny Clark, because I think what he is as a football player is more than just kind of the way he's been performing this season in this new role and new scheme that he's been put into. And I'm not blaming the scheme, because I think the scheme is good. So like I'm not like excusing anybody from it. But I think it's taking Kenny a little bit to adjust to what he has been good at for 7 years of his career. I mean, and he's been really good at it. I mean, he's played at such a high level doing what he's done as the nose or whatever position he's been at, in that 3-down system, that it's not quite the same, when you're playing the shade or a 3-tech in a true 4-down scheme. And that takes a lot of time to kind of figure that out. And it's taken him a little bit while longer. And we're seeing that because it's a lot easier to get double teamed now for him inside. It is a lot easier for him to get 3 hands on him or 4 hands on him or a running back running. Like it is easier. And especially now, since our edge guys are not producing as they should be, it's a lot easier for them to focus and get the center and the guard on Kenny. They don't have to go out to the edges. They can secure inside and maintain that pocket inside. So I'm not worried about Kenny. I think Kenny's still a really good player. I think he's going to be a good player. It's just a matter of him figuring it out. And I think he will. I think he's going to be fine. And I get it. It's frustrating because he has been such a high performer for so long, and he gets the new deal, and it just hasn't worked out yet. But it will. He will be fine.
Why do you think it will?
Because I think he's a really good football player, and really good football players normally figure out a way to make it work. And it hasn't worked quite the way probably he's wanted it to yet, but I think over time he will. And there's something about him. I mean, knowing him from when he was a rookie, and he came in, he was undersized, really, great hands, great motor, and how he kind of figured his way out, from going against guys like TJ and sitting and like that and figuring out how to play to where he is now. And now he gets a new scheme thrown at him. He's going to figure it out, and good football players do. So that's why I'm confident that he's going to figure it out. But I understand people's, what's going on with Kenny, but if there's one guy that I'm not concerned about, it's Kenny. I think Kenny's going to be okay.
I love it. Lucas Van Ness, how do you look at where his development is? Because when Preston gets traded, I'm thinking, oh, you got the 13th pick swap guy, Iowa guy, tough, physical, and he's not even getting many reps. I mean, Cox is getting as many reps as he is. Where do we see him in this rotation, and how do you view where he's at in his second year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that, you know, when they traded Preston, they thought they had, you know, a pretty good situation with Van Ness, and, you know, obviously that he would be ready to step into a much larger role than what, you know, than what they were giving him. And it just, I don't think he is comfortable yet in the role that they're asking him to do. It looks like right now he is very one-dimensional as a rusher. He takes guys down the middle and then tries to fall off late inside, and there's really not much else to it, right? And while that may be a good starting point for DNs at the beginning of the game to take guys on down the middle, test them with power, if that's all you consistently do, you're just not going to win. Like, it's just it's hard to win that way as a D end in the NFL. So his variety as a pass rusher on the edge right now, to me, is just very limited. And does that mean he can develop more? I mean, I'm sure he can. I guess, and I'm not a coach, I'm not in the building, I don't know anything about it, but I'd like to see him take reps over a guard in pass rushing situations and see how he would do. I would like to see him kick inside.
He did it at Iowa.
Love it.
He would move inside at Iowa.
I mean, I think that would be interesting to see how he would fare in that situation. But again, I'm not I'm no D-line expert, but I
want more Carl Brooks, though, Blue. I want more Carl Brooks.
I agree. I mean, listen, there's guys that are, when they get their opportunities, are doing good things, right? There's guys that are doing good things. They just don't get tons of opportunities. And there's the guys that are getting a bunch of opportunities, and it's just not happening, right? Like, and I was trying my hardest for the first how many weeks, coming on with you guys and with Homer, saying it's going to get better. Don't worry, it's going to get better. It's going to get, like, I tried, and it just hasn't. And I don't know. I don't have any reason why it hasn't. I don't know. I can't give you an answer. It just hasn't. And I think where we're at right now is as good as we're probably going to get. Sure, there may be games that are better than others, where the pass rush is a little bit better, or maybe they get home a little bit more or create more pressure. But, like, for the season, I think we're at where we're at, right? And where guys are or where they are, like I said, maybe there's games that are better than others. But I don't think the pass rush is going to get better over the season. Like, it's not going to be like all of a sudden turned on and you're going to see something crazy over the next 6-7 weeks, right? It doesn't work that way. But from Van Ness's standpoint, like, I just feel like little one-dimensional at this point. Little one-dimensional, and I think
he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah,
as we sit here today, I thought when he came out of Iowa, he just a bull, and you saw him just out-muscle. And it wasn't like he was just beating like Bowling Green's tackle or somebody else. He was beating guys that were getting drafted with his power. Ohio State's left tackle. You saw that, and I thought that's a good floor for him. And that you can play in this league if you're that. But to be the guy, you have to develop some counters, and it sounds like you're seeing that he has not developed those counters yet. It's all still power.
Yeah, it just hasn't. It hasn't come to him yet. Like, what I would love to see him start doing is more of a quick bull rush shock to, like, arm over or a chop or like just something.
Yep.
Yeah, just something, because right now, like, people are just sitting on the bull rush, right? And they're absorbing it. And by the time he works his way back to the quarterback, the ball's gone. So, like, it's just he's got to start developing counter moves to the bull rush.
Yep. All right, last one for me, Blue. Quay Walker. He's another guy that there's been a lot of consternation about, first-round pick. What do you see when you turn on the film of Quay Walker?
Oh, yeah.
That good, huh?
Well,
high praise.
Like, there's games where I've watched that I've really liked what he's done. Like, there's really good things on tape, and then there's times from the game Sunday that, like, he's just missing guys. Like, he's missing guys in the hole, like running backs. He has them dead to rights in the hole, and he just will miss a tackle. And, like, I get it. There's guys miss tackles from time to time, but those things kind of show up, throughout a game, and they have a little bit too much of a pattern to them. The thing about him is that I think he's a very athletic linebacker. Like, he has all the tools and traits that you're looking for in a linebacker. Like, I think he's super physical. I think he plays with an edge. I think he can run with tight ends. Like, we've seen him. He can do that. I mean, there's times he does get lost in space and coverage at times, but he can run with guys, which I think is very impressive in today's game, because not many guys can do it. But there's just times in the run game he just gets lost in the fray, right? Like, he picks gaps wrong, he fills wrong, like he gets lost in the bodies. And when you're a linebacker and you get lost in the bodies, there's very big glaring holes in your run fits, and that's kind of what has happened with him at times throughout the season. And again, that's kind of been, I think, a lot of people's, if I hear Packers Twitter correct, that seems like that's been a lot of people's issues with him since he was a rookie. Like, all the absolute tools as a football player, like, and you've seen him kind of grow on this trajectory as a player, like, all the physical tools, like, has everything. But it just seems like when things are going, like, things just kind of break down from time to time. And in this league, like, time to time isn't okay. Like, it's got to be very rare at that linebacker position that things break down, because, like, you're the last line of defense before runs bust into the secondary. And then once they get into the secondary, I mean, that's where bad things happen for defenses, right? When running backs are running loose on your safety. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is this his last year on his deal, or has he got one more?
I think he's got one.
He's got one more, but this is also fifth-year option decision time coming up in the spring.
Oh, they're not giving him the fifth-year option. No, they're not giving him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so either. They did not give it to Eric Stokes this past May. Do you give it? We'll get into whether or not you give it to Devontae Wyatt another time. Since Tausch took over, and we ran through disappointing defensive player this season, disappointing defensive player this season to end our time with you, I would like to end on an uplifting note, if I may. How much better do you feel about Jordan Love after that game? I thought the biggest thing to take away from that game, other than them finding a way to win, was that he looked like Jordan Love again. Did he look like Jordan Love to you again when you watched the tape?
Yeah, I mean, the way he was moving around in the pocket, stepping up into throws, the velocity on the ball, right? Like, I mean, I get he overthrew the one down. It was a pick. I get that. That was just a bad ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the other throws where he was stepping up through the pocket and delivering strikes, like, that's what we're used to seeing. And to me, that's very, relieving for, us casual fans, that he's able to move the way we're used to seeing him move, because that's a big part of his game as a player. I mean, not that he's a running quarterback, but he can get out in space and move when he needs to. And because he's always he gets out into space, but he's looking to throw the football. And when he was injured, he was he was looking to throw the football, but he was just looking to get rid of it, and bad things were happening. Now he's looking to deliver a strike on the move, and that's what he did the other day. So I'm very encouraged by it. And listen, at all costs, keep him healthy at all costs. Like, the guys just need to know, like, especially up front, like whatever we need to do going forward, like, we got to keep people off of him. Like, he needs to stay the way he is right now the rest of the way. Because if they're able to do that, like, I get there's a lot of things we need to clean up offensively, and the red zone is like a big area of concern. Like, that's a huge area now that, like, I don't understand what's happening down there. Like, it's like the lights shut off when we get inside the 20. But if he's able to stay healthy, like, this team can, like, do some damage. So, like, I'm very optimistic about it.
Brian, we got to you earlier than we ever have in history, and we kept you longer than we've ever kept you in history.
10-17. What happened?
Hey, the dude's good. We like putting good content out, and Blue brings us good content. Blue, you're the best, buddy.
You're the best. We appreciate you, man. Thanks.
No problem, guys. Take care.
Now I can't wait to hear you and Wilde on WTMJ break down the California congressional districts.
Whoa, Nelly!
In La Jolla, California.
Better have some Tito's available.
Pour me in, coach. I'll listen to that. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack of spicy, salt the rim of a Tito Rita. Take home the win with a Tito's, and whatever your heart desires, you're calling the game. You change up your roster, wash that lucky jersey, as long as you make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The 10:30 hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're looking for a truly unique luxury SUV, look no further than the new Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha.
The new Range Rover Sport SUV provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology and connectivity you want, plus the most luxurious ride.
And now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 48 months on a new 2024 Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks deal season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
'Tis the season for celebrating, so why not make your holiday gathering unforgettable? Give your team or clients an experience they'll talk about long after the new year with V Private Bar Services. Forget the same old office party. With custom cocktails tailored to your brand and a top-notch mixologist team, V Private Bar Services brings the magic of a high-end bar to your event. Make this holiday season extraordinary. Visit VPrivateBar.com to book your premier party today. That's VPrivateBar.com for your next unforgettable event.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour. of Wilde and Tausch begins
We'll get to that 10 o'clock hour sooner or later, am I right?
That's why the song by Matt Carney is such a perfect fit. Tausch, in the effort to get back on the clock, and look, we give you a lot of really good content. Actually, Brian does. We just sort of, I don't even know if we're the time guardrails. We actually probably make the timing worse because we keep asking him questions because he's that good. But you did bring up Bosa. Nick Bosa has not one but 2 oblique injuries. He had an oblique injury that was pre-existent.
Wait, which one's Joey? Joey's with the Chargers. Nick,
he plays for the Chargers.
Nick's with the Niners.
Nick Niners. Okay. Joey Jim Harbaugh. Maybe that'll help you.
That's a pretty good way to remember it. Okay.
So Bosa had an oblique injury. Then he suffered a new oblique injury. And he, quote, has a chance, per Kyle Shanahan, close personal friend of Matt LaFleur, to play on Sunday. So he wants a chance to have a chance. You asked about Sheed and you asked Brian. Your attitude when it came to great players that you might be facing was, if they can't play, great, right? You were not, oh, please, I hope he can play, because to be the best, you got to beat the best.
So you obviously want to take on challenges in life, but it's not a bad thing. My job is to be successful. I just wanted to be successful and help our team win.
Right.
The odds of me being successful are a heck of a lot better when I'm not going against an all-pro stud in his prime. I had a lot better chance blocking Reggie White when he was 39 than if he was 25. If I'm blocking him at 25, do I get clubbed into club section 102 at Lambeau? That's probably a pretty good chance. And I loved, balance was a big part of my game. Reggie at 39, different than Reggie at 25. Bosa with no oblique is better than blocking him with a full-on oblique. So it's a battle. You want to have it, but I, as a player, want to go out and have great success. Odds of me having great success a lot better if I'm not blocking a full-on Nick Bosa. So I don't have any problem saying that.
You also have odds of great success when you go to Quick Trip and pick up some Quickery bread or maybe some chicken, or maybe potatoes for sale. Potatoes for sale.
Well, we made a stop last night. Eleanor with a little hoops action. 5th grade girls, come get some. She got it for real. And then I think she also, what else did she grab? She grabbed a for real and I think maybe some type of cheese. On my hand, I've been listening to me tell this for a week, 2 weeks now.
Eating a potato like an apple.
Potato.
I logged the 5-pound bag of russets right over my shoulder, took it up, put it down on the thing, just scanned it up, and it was potatoes for sale, potatoes for sale. And old T bought those taters. No, you want me to go? I'll show you the bag of potatoes.
I would like the picture,
all right,
yes,
if you want.
please.
I will send a picture. Sarah, if you're listening, send me a picture. Hearty recipes with those 5-pound bag of taters, just 99 cents. And think of all the meals you can get with that. That chowder that's been so elusive. We can make it now. Your holiday meals, cozy fall recipes. You can also pair it up with chicken. They got the great chicken deal on Mondays for $5.99 whole roasted chickens. Today's Wednesday, 8-piece chicken tenders or bone-in chicken. And it's just $9.99. You get those supple, hand-breaded, jumbo, succulent tenders. But you know what? That's not even all. Can also get Quickery white bread, tortilla shells. You get Don's pizzas 4 for $10, and don't forget dessert. You get a gallon out for $5.99. Download the Quick Rewards app. Order ahead, earn points. You can do all that. Use your Quick Rewards app, or you can get it brought out to you curbside. Oh, that's a long journey we just went on a Quick Trip.
And you're carrying your potatoes over your back.
Even longer when you carry the potatoes.
I grabbed the 5-pound bag, put it over my shoulder, put it down there, and I could not believe it was only 99 cents.
You look like Santa going down the chimney with the sack of presents, except it's potatoes over the shoulder. That's the image I get.
And I didn't have a full-on red costume either, or a beard. But outside of that, yeah, it's exactly like that, Jesse.
I'm not saying anything. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You would vote the opening of the show should be Brett Favre as an alien.
If a guy wrote a song for me, it would probably be my opening.
All right.
That's just me.
Well, but how many other people do you think have written a song for me?
None.
Pepper, what's your vote?
I will say 0 as well.
You guys are so mean and accurate.
Thank you.
The Homer Hour with Homer, weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Hi, this is Wayne Larrabee for Steinhofels. Steinhofels is partnering with Special Spaces Wisconsin and the Green Bay Packers to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. This season, every time the Packers make a field goal, Steinhofels will donate $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Steinhofels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader since 1934, is 100% employee-owned, and is a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Kevin Moret for Mentality Men's Health. Guys, I know you hate to feel weak. That means something different for every guy, but for most guys, it means the way they look and move through their day. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients see an increase in their muscle mass, their muscle tone, and the way they look? This means our clients got their confidence back. If you're looking to look and feel the way you did years ago, join the over 25,000 guys at Mentality and get your confidence back. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
A rough day for the Packers defense in their Week 11 win over the Bears. Green Bay surrendered 391 total yards to Chicago, allowed 12 of 19 conversions on 3rd and 4th downs, and gave up a pair of touchdowns to a team that hadn't had one in 2 games. Head coach Matt LaFleur was not pleased with the performance of Jeff Hafley's unit after watching the game film.
We got to be better. Just after watching the tape with the guys, I would say we're all in agreement of that. There was opportunities to get off the grass, and we didn't, for one reason or another, we didn't make the plays.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Little by little, some banks are pecking away at your balance with fees on their checking. You need an account with no monthly fee. Make the switch to Tri-City. Tri-City National Bank. Member FDIC.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
So this feels like a good opportunity before we get to Homer to just ask, because I don't like the chances of you actually remembering this. That's just me being honest. It's not a dig.
Yeah, I respect that.
But you had announced I think on Monday, that you had some sort of declaration. It might have been about the 49ers after their loss to the Seahawks. You teased it. And then you said, no, I'll save it for later in the week. And I didn't see you write it down. I think you may have told Jesse.
You were getting ready to say something crazy, and then you're like, nah, I'm going to wait. I'll tell you later in the week. Ring any bells?
Yeah, I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll tell you on Thursday.
Hoping that you remember by then.
Are you going to...
I'll just say it. All right, I'll just say it. San Fran's not making the playoffs. They're donezo. Put it on the books. They're donezo.
Okay. So does that require them to lose to the Packers on Sunday?
Yeah.
Because if they win, they're 6-5.
They got a quarterback that's... Hey, oh boy, they got a quarterback with a bum shoulder.
He does.
They got their stud pass rusher with a ripped-up oblique.
Two of them.
They're wavering. They just lost at home to Seattle. No, they're wavering. I don't know if they know where they're at. Listen, they have a really good pedigree. It's not championship, but it's a pedigree. And they have some good older players. But they lose. Look at their schedule, boys. Take a look at the rest of their schedule.
I have that in front of me.
They're not getting to 10 wins. At best, they're going to get to 9. 9 ain't going to get it done. The only way they can is if Arizona collapses.
Right. And they win the division.
Arizona beats them at home. Arizona's winning the division. And then they're out. You don't win the division. You don't win the division in the West. You're donezo. It's over.
The San Francisco 49ers enter Sunday's matchup at Lambeau Field 5-5 on the season. They face, in order, the Green Bay Packers on the road, the Buffalo Bills on the road, the Chicago Bears at home,
W,
the Los Angeles Rams at home.
Toss up. I'll give them a win just for funsies, okay? So they get a win. So now they're 7-8 with 2 to go.
Indeed, no, they're 7-7 with 3 to go.
Okay, 7-7. They have another game on the schedule as a definite L. That's why I know they're not getting more than 9.
They are at Atlanta. Or no, at Miami. Sorry, looking at the wrong list. At Miami.
I think they'll win that one. So they're 8-7.
So now they're 8-7, and their remaining 2 games are a prime time tilt with the Detroit Lions.
L.
And then on the road on the final day of the season in a NFC West championship game, perhaps.
Potentially.
At Arizona.
Well, Arizona stinks. So even if they win that game, they go 9-8. And I still don't think that's going to be enough. So that Arizona game will probably be a big deal, but their schedule and with their injury, where they're at, I'm going to say this. I don't think they make the playoffs, but this weekend's game is a playoff game for the San Francisco.
It's huge for them.
They lose this weekend.
I was just going to say that.
Well, that's because you're a smart guy and you're a really good analyst. Well, you're not an analyst. You're a really good beat writer. They don't win this. This is a playoff game for the San Francisco. They lose this weekend.
Yeah.
Jesse, have old Dunzo ready in the chair for the postgame show because San Fran loses to the Packers Sunday afternoon. Dunzo.
I thought Dunzo, you just brought him out. You just said they are Dunzo.
Yeah, but I'm going to bring him out, but I'm not playing the music until the Packers
bring him out. All right.
Sounds like if
Dunzo.
Go ahead.
Dunzo ain't Dunzo unless there's music with Dunzo. Otherwise, it's just Dunzo. You got to have the clown music with Dunzo.
Well, we'll see if they're playing it on. Can you play that on Green Bay game night, or do most people not get the reference because they don't always listen to our show?
Different crowd.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll have to look into that. We'll see if that's a possibility. All right. We need to get to Uncle Homer, and if the 49ers...
Are you guys are you going to disagree?
No,
can I get some feedback from you? Or
you literally, I was trying to finish your sentence on it being a playoff game for them. We were agreeing, remember? That happened right before the Dunzo debate that Jesse started.
I disagree. I'm not writing off the 49ers. They're like the Chiefs to me. I'm not writing them off until they're out.
They're like Freddy Krueger. You can't kill them.
They will not die, and they are a nemesis for us in the postseason. I don't care what the record is. I do not want the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs.
Hey, they are clinging with ice picks right now. They're no longer on their feet.
Like Stallone and Cliffhanger.
They have reached the point, where they need the ice picks. It's gotten too glassy. The conditions aren't what they are looking for. It's foggy out, but they are stuck with a ice pick shoved into the mountain, and they're hanging on with two hands. The Packers can put grease on that slide, and they are going to slide down that mountain if they beat them on Sunday. That's where we're at. And they're going to end up going through the poop and all the garbage on the way down. They're going to be sliding, hitting old bottles and cans and poop on the slide down back to base camp, and they have to reset next year. That's where they're at this weekend.
Do they have to get grease? Can't they just kick the ice pick and then it falls out of the... Anyway.
You understand? It's like slippery. It is a very slippery slope. They are grasping right now, trying to hang on for dear life.
Good question. And then you're going through the poop and the bottles. Imagery. Dazzling detail from Mark Tauscher. I've got some dazzling details for you, too, about the new Eggnog Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles. It is the perfect gift idea for a custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. And you don't have to wrap, which I'm not a good wrapper, and I definitely think Tausch probably isn't. You can get their newest holiday pastry. I mentioned it. The Eggnog Kringle. Festive cheer wrapped all in a flaky crust filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon. It's perfect for sharing with loved ones. So go to Kringle.com or 800-4DANISH. Make the call, 800-4DANISH. Either way, place your order with Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition. Uncle Homer scheduled to appear next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had howling wind coming through. The rooms were freezing. We were very apprehensive about changing them because we were worried about losing the charm of the home. We went with Pella because we knew that they had an amazing reputation. We knew that they were going to have the windows that would look like they've been there forever, but with all the functionality that a window should have.
Order from Pella today and get no interest and no payments for 12 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30/2024.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com
Results may vary.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
Finding the perfect gifts for everyone on your list takes time, and the holidays can get a little busy. So let Macy's help you get a jump on your shopping with our Black Friday sale happening right now. It's your chance to find the best deals on the best gifts before the holiday rush, like cozy puffers and coats and more of the season's best styles. So get your gifts at Macy's now, and when you're cool, calm, and collected during holiday crunch time, you'll have yourself and Macy's to thank. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and are you ready to make money betting on sports? This weekend is your chance. You win or you get the rest of this month for free. Go to fatjacksports.com. We are up over 20 games over the last month betting on sports, and we can help you win. Get signed up for less than $100 a week. You win this weekend or you get the rest of November for free. That's all the way through Thanksgiving. fatjacksports.com to win. Consistent winning plays emailed to you and on a personal portal at fatjacksports.com.
Uncle Homer on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Potholes are a pain when they pop up in your asphalt. Johnson & Sons Paving can patch or replace the whole lot. Book an appointment now at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love.
Time for Uncle Homer, who is presented by Johnson & Sons Paving.
Yeah, and get ready for spring and do it now. Call Johnson & Sons Paving. Make sure no pavement hazards get worse over the long winter. Potholes and cracked curbs and drainage issues. If things are bad now, call Johnson & Sons Paving to get it fixed today. Schedule a free, no-obligation quote. Get a walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work needed by spotting fatigue, cracking, standing water, warping, buckling, sinking pavement, and more. Don't scare away customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now, save money later. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Homer, good morning. How are you?
I am awesome. I am able now to speak to the greatness of Tony Smith when he was at Marquette, because Cam Jones is playing like Tony Smith did as a senior. Almost identical.
Yeah, he's really good. Where does he compare in the pantheon of Homer Marquette Golden Eagles?
Well, Tony Smith is the only one to compare because he's a shooting guard playing as a point guard, or a combination of the two, and there just haven't been many players that fit. That's the issue. So right now he's playing as well as Tony Smith, and Tony Smith had one of the great individual seasons as a senior in the history of Marquette. There's no greater compliment you can give to Cam Jones than to say, keep playing like Tony Smith did. And Smith would actually be rated a little higher because his their numbers are literally identical now in scoring, rebounding, and assists. And Tony Smith, of course, did it for Kevin O'Neal when fewer points were scored. So, and it's hard because, it's kind of Don Hudson. Most people weren't around to see Tony Smith. The team wasn't that good. He is the source of my greatest comment ever. I think, of course, I've rated him at Marquette. At the end of the season, I said he carried Marquette longer than my mom carried me, which was true. And I think it's my finest ever, but others can judge.
Yeah, I don't know how to power rank. What are your other greatest lines, or do I not want to ask?
I don't. I'd have to think about that one. I love Dwayne Wade. Even when he's bad, he's good, and when he's good, he's really good. I like that one.
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Hey, Homer, I saw Jason Benetti was doing the game last night. He does a fun little shtick where every game he does the Matt LePay empty stadium or empty court, and then he asks, who is the first person you think of? He did that last night at the Marquette game on the Marquette court. when he asked that question, I was going to say Steve the Homer True. What does Steve the Homer True say when Jason Benetti asked that question?
Now, what's the question again so I have it right?
Oh, jeez.
When I walk on this court, who do I think of? Or Marquette?
The first person I think of is?
No, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Oh, baby, Dwayne Wade. What's he going to do tonight? The greatest thrill I had was to have George Thompson say that Dwayne Wade was the best to ever play at Marquette, both for what he had done and will do, said it to Dwayne Wade. And there's no way George Thompson ever thought he would say that. And to have George, as great as he was, arguably you can argue he's as great a player as ever was at Marquette. He would always say before a game, I wonder what he's going to do tonight. Even he was entertained. The greatness of Dwayne Wade was not just his ability, but it's the stuff he could do that you would go, time and time and time again. Who's number 11?
Al. It's got to be Al.
Yeah, I thought it was referring to players only. But, as far
it's
as...
the first person you think of when you think of... basically, he's asking, who's the first person to think of if he's at the Detroit Tiger Stadium or at Marquette? It's kind of a fun little deal. I wish I would have stole that. It's a really good idea.
Yeah, then it has to be, other than just being selfish, then it has to be Al McGuire. Al McGuire made Marquette, not the other way around.
Okay.
So Cam Jones last night had a triple-double. It was only the third in Marquette basketball history. Dwayne
Correct.
Wade has one, but Tony Smith does not have the other.
No, Tony Miller does. Tony Smith claims that he does. And again, the difficulty is when you're playing 1940s basketball under Kevin O'Neal, your ability to get numbers is going to be more difficult because there are fewer possessions. Tony Smith claimed last night he has a triple-double, including 10 turnovers. I don't think so, but I'll check, since I did every game he ever played at Marquette. I'm just happy to be able to talk about his season. I can't believe how good he was back then.
Yeah,
he scored 44 points to tie the school record, and then 5 days later scored 43 against Butler, and Kevin O'Neal took him out of the game because he thought Butler was kind of trying to hurt him or might have an injury.
Purdue came into last night's game 6th in the country. Marquette beat them 76-58.
Right.
Not close.
Marquette played, again, it's early, and Purdue beat Alabama at home, but Marquette played like a top 5 team in the country, though. It's just hard to know in college basketball. All the teams are always so new now.
Right.
But I would say it's fair to say, and we'll learn more when they play Saturday in the Bahamas against Georgia. And by the way, the game is at 10 a.m., and it's on a streaming channel that no one's ever heard of. So it might be a chance to listen to Tony Smith. He's very good.
Yeah, and the play-by-play guy. All right,
Yeah.
Homer. So speaking
So
of,
will you go to Atlantis when you're down there?
That's where we're staying.
Oh, is that an awesome place? Oh,
No, it's on.
That's the best.
I think maybe we've been there once before. I can't remember yesterday, but yes.
It's no Greenbrier.
I'm still really bummed.
All these rich people have places.
Yeah, I love
Right-
holiday.
right-
I love the Thanksgiving tournaments. Wisconsin's really good in them. I know Marquette will enjoy their time down there, but you got to go do that slide, Homer. They got that great slide with you go through the sharks. You got to go hit that when you're down there.
I got it. Just
right.
for you, I'll do it. I love slides. So.
Yeah, they're fun. It's a fun little deal.
By
I
the
love
way,
Atlantis. It's a great spot.
I am scared about the 49ers. Always will be. But
Yeah,
they are.
That's the segue I was just about to make. So thank you for the assist there. You and Cam Jones dishing out a lot of assists. You're not writing them off because Tausch is basically saying they're done so if they lose to the Packers on Sunday.
That's exactly what I said.
No, I'm not writing them off because of their division. But I admit he's probably accurate. I just they scare me, and I don't know how. It's like Dallas was with Chewy's teams, and so at some point it probably ends. You hope, But, yeah, Tausch's position is much more logical and correct, but I can't get over being scared of the 49ers.
Oh, I think, Homer, I think Packer fans have monster 49er PTSD, and they should. I totally get it. They have gutted us numerous times, and especially when we've had better teams, the 2021 season. But this is different. I think this team, this is their last window with this. They're going to have to pay Brock Purdy, and they are struggling. They're 5-5. The Packers can do to them, in my opinion, what they've done to us. You can knock them out. This is an opportunity for a TKO, big boy uppercut. Kyle Shanahan can get LaFleur can uppercut him right on the field and knock the 49ers out if they find a way to beat them on Sunday.
Yeah, Bosa playing or not playing to me is bigger than huge.
It's huge.
What I used to call
That's
Gilbert
huge.
Brown huge. I don't know what the proper is now, but it's just good. Packers are winning. Now, you really were willing to admit that you apologized for the win, right? I forgot in the postgame.
No, I don't. I never apologize. I said we were lucky. I did not. I would. You know the mantra in the NFL.
Come on.
You don't apologize for winning. You kidding me? No.
Okay. Well,
never apologize.
I mean, there's some that. I mean, that was just so incredibly lucky.
You can have luck, but you don't apologize. You won the lottery. You apologizing for winning the lottery?
No.
Somebody who you take the money and you go. You maybe.
Okay.
Huh?
That's fine. I have apologized. Said I was incredibly lucky.
Oh, you won the lottery and you apologized? Did I miss this?
No, I'm saying in tennis matches I've won twice.
When you beat Jimmy Connors?
No, I was not.
Ethel Kennedy?
Nice try. We can move on.
Well, who'd you beat that you apologized to them?
I'm not going to mention it. Where I just I'm not going to do that.
Brad
John
Gilbert. I feel like you beat Brad Gilbert, right?
No. All right. Just so in the Nationals, the guy that I was playing with, we beat the number 3 player at USC and the number 1 player at Cal Irvine. We could have played them 1,000 times. We never would have beaten them. We played indoors. They had never played indoors, so we had that benefit. I mean, I didn't go up and say, I'm sorry, but
you guys played hard.
Else. No, we just had to play somebody else.
You play indoors, Homer. What is that? That should be. That's one thing. If it's windy, it makes it. The better players should be better indoors.
No, I served well. My serve was a little better indoors. They were not used to the surface back then. Back in the Old Testament, the surface could be a little bit different indoors than anything. It's a plastic thing, anything more than anything, unlike anything you would play. But when we went to our next match outdoors, the person who I got to know at Arizona said to me, "Excuse me, you guys are on the wrong court. We're playing Lewis and Thornburg." And I go, "Oh, you're playing us." He goes, "You beat them?" Yeah, well, they beat us because it wasn't indoors. But so I said to him, "You can apologize to him. Tell him I apologize." He goes, "What?" I goes, "Like they beat us 1,000,000 times. It was once in a million." So I would have told him that I apologized for the win. The greatest tennis win I ever had in terms of who we beat. I'm
Brad
sure
Gilbert.
If you ran into no, I couldn't. Brad Gilbert's way too good. Brad Gilbert was really good. Brad Gilbert became the coach of Andre Agassi because Gilbert was still playing, and I think he beat Agassi, and he's like, "What is wrong with you? He goes, "What? How can you let me beat you?" And so he became his coach and won Grand Slam titles because of it. That's more than you need to know. Forget tennis. No one cares. Let's go.
So now that we've covered Marquette men's basketball extensively and tennis, what would you like to talk about?
No, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I think I like the Packers more than other people, and no one agrees with me. You didn't last night. That I thought the Bears, if Caleb Williams plays that well, the Bears can beat the Packers 4 times out of 10, and I'm not sure he isn't that good. We'll have to see. It's like when Iowa ran over Wisconsin 1,000,000 times, and then the next game they couldn't run against UCLA. It made me think, no, Wisconsin really sucks. But if Caleb Williams does this a few more times, then maybe he's capable of playing that well.
Yes.
They're good. The Bears are good when Caleb Williams plays like that, right?
Well, what kind of insight is that?
That's great analysis.
Because he had never played that way. They didn't defend him thinking he could play well with all those different skills. And so it's a different prediction if he continues to play that well. Now, if he sucks the next couple of weeks, then I'll say, yeah, the Packers were horrible that game. If he plays at that level the next couple of games, then won't you have to say, maybe he's not as sucky as he was every week for how many weeks in a row before the Bears game?
But that's not what you said. You said the Bears are good when he plays well. It's possible that he is good, but he's surrounded by a bunch of, I don't want to call them bums, but not very good players, a not very good offensive line, a coaching staff that's in over its head. Like, Thomas Brown deserves a bunch of credit for designing a game plan in his first game as the offensive coordinator that allowed him to be successful. But if you watch this guy play, you know he has talent.
No, I don't. He does things that are incredibly bad, and he continues to do them. As with young quarterbacks, when you see them change and get better, he just made bad moves week after week after week. Not just running when he couldn't run, passing the ball forward. No, there are people saying, not me, that he's never going to be any good. Right? Knowledgeable people. Well, how do you factor that into your theory? They're all just idiots?
I don't know. I don't understand what the delineation is here between whether the Bears are bad, their quarterback played good and gave them a chance to be a team that beat the Packers. But the Bears, their defense is not nearly as good as we thought it was going to be this year. Their skill position players have not had the opportunity or have had their own issues to be productive, and their offensive line stinks. And they're missing pieces on an already thin offensive line. That's how you get your potential generational talent quarterback to be bad.
Homer, we don't need to go through if they played 10 times. They've played 11 times in LaFleur's era here. Is that right, Jason?
Correct. 11-0.
And they haven't won one. So there's
that. Well, Purdue won a lot of games and set all these records with Zach Edey. Now that he's gone, everything's changed. The history of
I heard they beat Alabama.
Yeah, they did. And now we wonder how good Alabama is. If Marquette is as good as they played and Purdue is good, Marquette's a top 5 team in the country.
Hey, when Cam Jones plays well, Marquette's a good team.
No, Cam Jones plays well all the time. When Chase Ross plays the way he did, when Stevie Mitchell scores what he did.
You're kind of a shill for Marquette.
Jones,
I'm
Ross,
feeling
Mitchell,
like you're a shill. Hey, Homer, you're a little bit of a shill for Marquette.
No, I am a shill. Yes, I'm a total shill. Yes. What I want to be is the best shill in the country. Damn right I'm a shill.
There you go.
You know why I'm a shill?
Yeah.
You know why I'm a shill?
Because they're paying you. Because they're paying you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not.
And you know what? I'd be an even greater shill if they pay me even more. Oh, and by the way,
they're not going to do that. I feel like they like the shill to money ratio as it is.
Right. Here's the other issue that you guys brought up about whether you like to beat bad people or you want to play the best. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Of course you want people to be bad. I want it to be as easy as possible.
Yes.
For example, when I hear other people in radio talk that are horrible, people are going like, God, that's terrible. I go, no, it's great. I don't have to be as good.
Fair enough.
Like I want everybody
that's
to
how
be
we
better,
feel at the end of the segment.
I want to test myself against the best. No, I want to beat and win every time. And if everybody says everybody you beat sucked, fine. I won. That's why I play.
Well, we're going to have that discussion. And Homer, thank you for your time. We're going to have that discussion about Indiana. And I have a take that I think you're going to like to hear about how we've gotten from a societal standpoint. We're not in a great place.
Ooh,
and I want
you're going
to
go societal? Oh, baby.
We'll also be discussing
through the prism of sports. Through the prism of sports. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Nelly.
All right, Homer, thanks.
No, he hung up.
Bye.
He does that.
That's what I wanted. We're late. You guys keep saying we don't know how to handle the clock. Well, you got to sometimes go. Let's go.
We made the call to Homer, and if you have been injured, you need to make the call to Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, all the great lawyers that are there, and, of course, everything that David and his team do in our communities. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. There is not That's All for the 10 o'clock hour. Still one segment left, and it's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. After every single green and gold game,
you can say it doesn't matter, but that's not being fair.
There's only one place to go for instant reaction.
Once, since they won the Super Bowl in 2010, one season, have they done better than 10th in points given up.
And to give yours on the Boda Box Wine Line. Tune into Green Bay Game Night with Homer after every green and gold game, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice double gold medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Number 15 Marquette passed a big early season test as they beat number 6 Purdue 76-58 at Fiserv Forum. Senior guard Stevie Mitchell scored a game-high 21 points to go along with 4 steals as MU forced 15 Boilermaker turnovers, which led to 18 points.
Stolen by Stevie Mitchell, will come the other way. In the lane, to the basket, layup is good. It's like he can hear you, Marquette up a deuce.
Next up for the 5-0 Golden Eagles, a trip to the Bahamas on Saturday to face Georgia.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, for your forever true and your fur kids too. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call John Saganiac Jr. John Saganiac Jr., Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Thanks to Homer, who does apologize for winning, including in tennis matches back in the 70s. Jesse, we're not going to get to Power Rankings Tuesday. We didn't get to it on Tuesday. We're not going to get to it today. You're very blurry, by the way, in your video camera.
Weird. Oh.
Did you do that on purpose?
No. I'm back. Here we go.
Why are you using that voice?
Yeah, I don't know. It's creepy.
That's my blurry voice.
It's very, very creepy.
We're not going to get to power rankings, but I did want to share this one thing that Domovsky wrote, which is the thing they were checking in on this week with the blurb was the current temperature of the preseason hot seat that all 32 NFL Nation reporters identified. The preseason hot seat for Domovsky and the Packers was kicker Anders Carlson.
He's doing great. He's with the Jets now. He kicked well for the 49ers also.
Rob says the temperature of the hot seat is burnt. I thought that was funny.
Good one, Rob. That was good.
Sick
That's
burn, bro.
Domovsky. Yeah.
So you're not able to go to the Greenbrier because the Badgers play football on Black Friday. Is that why?
Yeah. No. It's because we're in Nebraska. I think Greenbrier's this weekend. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, pre-Thanksgiving.
Had it been the other way around, I think had they played Sunday, Monday, I'm in Greenbrier. But that's not how it played out.
Well,
so instead, I'm going to go up. I'm actually going up to the game Sunday, and I'm going to watch the Packers knock the Niners out of the playoffs, in my opinion, on Sunday.
Wow. I'm glad to find that out. I look forward to seeing you at the Tundra Trio. Swing by for Green Bay game day pregame. And
I'll
Tausch,
be there with a couple Coors Lights in me. No doubt about that.
If anyone wanted to go to the Greenbrier on last-minute basis, they could make a little extra cash from Fortria to be able to go.
That's interesting. I thought we were going Coors Light, but no doubt about it. You need cash to go to Greenbrier or to Atlantis or any vacations. You got the holidays coming up. The good news is Fortria is handing out a lot of cash. All you got to do is go do some studies. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com, and this is a big boy one now. Adults, ages 18 to 65, BMI 27 to 40. Study involves 2 separate stays, totaling 65 nights with 6 outpatient visits. 27,000. And that $27,463 for your time and participation. Another $400 if you bring a friend with you. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, ClinicalTrials.com.
The 10 o'clock hour is over. The 11 o'clock hour will include our Steinhof Sleepers of the Week. Double Geography Wednesday trivia.
Oh, snap.
And Whoa Nelly, so stick around. That kicks off in 2 minutes.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Kevin Moret for Mentality Men's Health. I know that a guy's confidence comes from many sources. For our clients, the way they look is a big driver. When you have the muscle mass and the muscle tone, it changes the way you carry yourself. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients have increased muscle mass and muscle tone through testosterone and peptide therapy? Their confidence is back and everyone can see it. If you want to recapture the way you look and felt years ago, join the over 25,000 clients and start today. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had howling wind coming through. The rooms were freezing. We were very apprehensive about changing them because we were worried about losing the charm of the home. We went with Pella because we knew that they had an amazing reputation. We knew that they were going to have the windows that would look like they've been there forever, but with all the functionality that a window should have.
Order from Pella today and get no interest and no payments for 12 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30/2024.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, but before we get to our Steinhof Sleepers of the Week, a little bit of breaking news from the National Football League. Your Special Teams Player of the Week in the National Football Conference, Carl Brooks. Maybe that influences who you'll choose for our Steinhof Sleepers of the Week, which we are doing on a Wednesday because we got kind of a wonky week ahead of us. We'll be on the air every day, but a lot of high school state championship coverage across ESPN Wisconsin. So time now for our Steinhof Sleepers of the Week, presented by Steinhof's, and Steinhof's Black Friday deals are on already right now. Get the season's best prices on amazing bonus buys like a 3-piece dining set for $189, a Sealy mattress starting at just $199, and rocker recliners for only $349. Plus, you can pay with Steinhof's special 18-month, 0% interest financing when you make a purchase of $799 or more. No money down, no hidden fees. Steinhof's has something for everyone. Shop Steinhof's in-store or online at steinhofels.com. Time now for the Steinhof Sleepers of the Week.
Don't sleep, you gotta stay up.
Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey. Okay, campers, rise and shine. It's time for the Steinhof Sleepers of the Week on Wilde and Tausch.
Feels early. I'm not sure I'm prepared. Tausch, you got yours already?
You haven't won much this year, so it might be good to go early.
Tausch has at least made it a 2-horse race again. Mostly thanks to me taking off a bunch of Fridays in the academy or the analytics collective not recognizing my participation. Despite that I still do so on the show sheets, you guys seem to play defense against me.
I don't care enough to play defense against you, quite frankly.
Well, that's not very spirited.
What a great attitude.
Yeah,
great attitude, Jason.
Good sportsmanship there.
I'm not walking around taking victory laps and then saying when somebody closes the gap on me, it's because I haven't been on the show. Like, that's a brag, by the way. I've missed a lot of shows, so I haven't been able to make my picks publicly. Fine.
Jason's basically
first.
telling us this segment's as good as the offensive play caller for the Badgers. Why does it matter? That's what you're saying right now. Come on.
Wow.
Don't flinch.
All right, I'll go first. I feel good. I don't feel good about the sleepiness of this player, but I think he is going to have a monster game. And I think he can overcome maybe the fact that he is not going to be viewed, and I'm going to take some shrapnel from y'all for me picking this young man.
Oh, boy.
But I think Jaden Reed's going to have a game. I think he's going to have a game. And I'm going with Jaden Reed as my Steinhof slip. And I feel good about doing it. What did he have, 1 catch last week? Is that what he had?
2,
like
including
2 targets?
2 catches, including a touchdown. What does he have to get? Like 240 rushing and receiving yards combined?
No. Just be a baller.
You want to know why I don't take this seriously? It's the Steinhof Sleepers of the week. And Mark Tauscher has come onto our program and picked the guy who leads the team in receptions, in receiving yards, in targets, to be the sleeper of the week. And I'm the bad guy for saying that I don't care.
All right, you're fair. I will rescind my pick because you just slapped me in the face. And it's true. I'm not going to argue. I'm going to go back to my well. I'm going back to JJ Enikbare. I think San Fran's O-line.
Surprised it's not Josh Jacobs when you said JJ.
Little suspect. Well, that's crazy. Of course I'm not going Josh Jacobs. Not yet. I'm going JJ Enikbare again. I think his rep count's going to go up again, and I think he's going to make a couple of big impact plays, including a Strack on Brock. And I think that's going to lead to a victory. So, yes, I'm going JJ.
Jesse, since you feel like you've been wrongfully prevented from participating, you may go next.
So I'm going to play the odds for
Wait a second. By the way, we're on air at both markets 9 to 9:30 on Friday. We could have easily done Steinhof. Jesse's doing this to get back in the mix on Wednesday, just so we're all clear.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know.
All right. Okay. All right.
Keyshawn Nixon is my selection for my Steinhoffel sleeper of the week. Oh, like it's Jaden Reed. He hasn't
The dude's a starter. Like, what are we doing here?
You
guys just give me grief.
I am expecting.
You didn't pick Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed is one of the 4 guys at the start of the year that we said for sure not a sleeper or would have to do something bonkers to win a. Thank you.
Good one.
Keyshawn Nixon, I'm hoping for a special teams return. I feel like we're due for one of those.
You petting a skunk?
No, it's Luna. It's Luna. I'm not a skunk. He called you a skunk. Can you believe it?
Oh, my God.
Does look skunk-like.
You guys aren't very nice. I think you hurt her feelings.
And if Keyshawn Nixon doesn't have a special teams return, then I'm hoping he makes a big play defensively and comes up with a turnover.
We're no longer listening. We're talking about skunks now.
Keyshawn Nixon.
For the second straight week after he did not have a catch last week and is trying to show that he can still catch the football after 7 drops during the first 9 games of the season, I will take Dontavion Wicks again. Because when you're coming off a game in which you didn't catch a pass, you certainly qualify as a Steinhoffel Sleeper of the Week candidate, as opposed to when you catch a touchdown pass and you're leading the team in every receiving statistical category. Now, Tausch, tell us about Coors Light, because that's a winner, just like Jaden Reed will be a winner for you had you not rescinded your pick.
Yeah, Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill in those mountains. Oh, it's windy out. It's getting cold out. It's getting a lot easier to make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know Coors Light is chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Sub responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It is time for trivia. It is Wednesday. We once again eschewed doing trivia on Monday because we were taking so many calls after the Packers' narrow victory over the Bears. So, of course, it is double Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. The question I have is who wrote the questions?
I am excited to share that we are going to experience a Wilde and Tausch trivia first today. We are making history, folks.
Oh, wow.
Today is the first time we are doing double trivia written by 2 celebrity guest trivia writers. So we have Up North Joe.
Celebrity guests. So we have Aaron Andrews and Tom Brady doing our trivia?
Up North Joe wrote
Burkhart?
one set of questions. And Tucker in Wausau, avid contestant of Wilde and Tausch Trivia, has written our other set of questions.
Would Tucker be eligible to play trivia today only on Up North Joe's questions?
If Joe and Tucker were both contestants today, they would be assigned the other person's questions and be eligible. Yes.
How awesome would that be if it ends up being Up North Joe versus Tucker with Oppo questions? That'd be special.
Well,
That'd be special.
Let's find out who the contestants will be by taking caller 5 and caller 10. Caller 5 and caller 10, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 5, caller 10, you'll play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You still had a cigarette lighter in there?
No, we should all be dead.
An ashtray.
They have the station wagons where the people in the back were facing the other direction.
The Homer Hour with Homer.
The Packers got more money than God, so in the NFL, there's no shortage. Yes, we need, fundamentally in the NFL, anything Detroit does, you just assume you can do it better.
Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento shredded cheese, 2 for $6. 45 ounce selected varieties Country Crock, $5.49. 12 ounce selected varieties Cremette egg noodles, 2 for $4. 10 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates, bowls, or bags, 2 for $4.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Cousins Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak features pepper jack cheese, sautéed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle Cheesesteak with a new pumpkin pie shake and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
for trivia. Jesse, before we start, I saw we are promoting the return of the Isthmus Bowl. Who's matched up in that one, and are you on the call again?
I am. I'll be back on it on Saturday on ESPN Madison. I have a couple of replays over Thanksgiving weekend. Mike Podol and I will return and reunite to call the 4th annual Culvers Isthmus Bowl on ESPN Wisconsin this Saturday afternoon.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
UW Stout making the bowl game this year, which is awesome. Stout and Wheaton College from Illinois. Going to be a good game.
And well called, I'm sure. All right, let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. Neither of the writers of the questions qualified to play on each other's questions. That doesn't mean we're not happy to have our two contestants. First, it is James in Madison, who is caller number 5. James, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And caller 10, Zach in the Dells. Zach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Just passing through a small town of a CBS analyst. Tony Romo, what town am I in?
You're in Burlington.
That is correct.
Give Tausch and I an entry.
Which county is that? What county is Burlington in?
I think Racine.
You're the county guy. You knew all 74
Yeah, I know. I'm asking.
Whatever, 72.
I think it's Walworth. I think it might be Walworth.
Toss
so
up.
I might be wrong.
Pick 'em or flick 'em.
All
right, so since we have two contestants, and James was first, James, you get to choose. I'm not going to tell you what the categories are, though. It's kind of like category roulette. But do you want Up North Joe's questions, or do you want Tucker in Wausau's questions?
Let's go with Up North Joe.
All right. Up North Joe's questions. The category is McGuanago, Muskego, or both. Z and the D. Your
Great
questions will be WIAA State Championship Geography, so you'll have that opportunity. All right. Here we go. Question number 1 for James from Joe. Which of these towns takes its name from a Potawatomi word meaning place of the bear? Is it Mugwanago, Muskego, or both?
Let's go with Mugwanago.
1 for 1.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if Tausch was playing or not.
He wasn't sure either.
A little confusing at this juncture.
No, it was McGuanago.
Thank you. Question 1, Z in the D, is this. Mileage. Which of these high schools will be making the longest trek to play at Camp Randall Stadium in this week's WIAA State Football Championships? Is it Grantsburg, Rice Lake, or Barry Alvarez Prep Academy? The Flinchers.
Man, I really want to go with Barry Alvarez Academy, but I'm going to go Grantsburg.
Tausch, agree or disagree?
I'm saying Rice Lake. Rice Lake is a hall.
Zach is right. You are wrong. Grantsburg.
Where
the
is
farthest
Grantsburg?
away. No idea.
It's northwest, all the way up near the border.
Yep, by Cumberland, about an hour north of, I would say, Rice Lake.
Wow.
Oh, is
Why
that
do you
right?
know so
Okay.
much about geography? You're in Burlington. You're driving. Do you drive everywhere? Like, are you Mr. Wisconsin driver guy?
I actually do drive everywhere. I was in Elgin, Illinois last night, but I go all over the state for work.
All right. Well, there you go. Then this might help your chances, as opposed to Muskego, Mugwanago, or both. All right, James, question 2 for you. Tausch is driving, just like Z and the D, on northeast on Highway 36 from Waterford en route to Greendale. Which town will he drive through on his journey from Waterford to Greendale? Will he drive through Mugwanago, Muskego, or both?
Taking what? 36?
36
Muskego.
northeast.
I think it's Muskego.
I would have never gotten that right, and I went to high school in Greendale. Well done.
Old Highway 36. Take that to Grandma's house.
Is that Loomis Road? Is that what it becomes? All right, Z and the D, question 2 for you. Which of these high schools will be making the shortest trek mileage to play at Camp Randall Stadium in this week's WIAA State Football Championships? Is it Catholic Memorial, Racine St. Catherine's, or Slinger? Shortest trek.
Obviously, Racine's in South Milwaukee. Catholic Memorial, I'm pretty sure, is Milwaukee because it's on this radio station, Milwaukee, ESPN Milwaukee. I'm going to go Slinger.
Tausch?
Slinger.
Catholic Memorial, then.
Catholic Memorial is located in Waukesha, which is, as you well know, if you're coming from Milwaukee, on your way to Madison.
Yeah.
All right, question 3, James, and a chance for you to get a clean sweep in a category you clearly didn't like. Here's the question. Which of these towns used to be home to a local amusement park, attracting patrons from the Milwaukee area and the Midwest until it closed in 1977 after Six Flags Great America opened in Gurnee, Illinois? All right. I didn't know this. Which of these towns had a local amusement park? Was it Mugwanago, Muskego, or both?
I haven't said the word Mugwanago, so let's go with that.
You did say it in the first question. And in retrospect, you should have
both,
said
just because I feel like both.
Yeah, he didn't do that. That one wasn't even used at all. It turns out none of the questions had both as an answer.
That's what I used to do when you take those multiple choice, or be at some point you'd be like, all right, I haven't hit C in a while. I think if I'm going to guess, C.
Joe is too busy buying his British Redcoat uniform this week. Not his best work on his trivia, if I do say so.
So Muskego had an amusement park. Has Usher George ever told you stories about the old Muskego amusement park?
Dandelion Park, later known as Muskego Beach Amusement Park. Yep, closed in 1977. Popular destination back in the day.
Learned something new. Mark Tauscher born in 1977, right around the time that apparently Dandelion Park died. What?
Why don't you start giving out social security numbers and addresses?
Nelly! 376.
Also looks like a 595 start guy.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what his number is, and I'm certainly not going any further down this road.
God.
Question 3Z is this. Longitudinally, which of these high schools is located in a city exactly due north and on the same longitudinal line?
Good one.
Thanks. Took 2 yells to get you to acknowledge, but it's still...
I didn't acknowledge it. I just stopped because you were yelling. All right, which of these schools is located in a city exactly due north and on the same longitudinal line as Camp Randall Stadium? Is it Bayport, Edgar, or Stratford?
Ooh. The Edgar is south. Stratford's north. And what was the other one? Bayport?
Bayport,
Bay,
yeah.
So I think that's Green Bay. So let's go Stratford.
That is not the correct answer that I have here.
I'm going to go Edgar.
Then it's Edgar.
It is Edgar, according at least to Tucker and Wausau.
Wildcats. The old Wildcats.
Yeah, go Wildcats.
Perennial power.
All right, so
yeah, they're good. Coach Sins. Oh, Coach Sins. Is he still coaching up there?
He's still there.
Is his name Sack?
He's been up there like 100
Sins?
years.
Jerry.
He's coached there for 100 years. Jeremy, his kid, he's a coach now, or he was. Really good player. A lot of Sinses.
Yeah, got to repent for a lot of Sinses. All right, so
good one,
Jeff. All right.
Spencer.
Hello.
Spencer. Pedro.
Whatever.
James. You got 2 out of 3. You got 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Sack. You got 1 out of 3. You've got 2 entries into Friday's drawing. We appreciate you both. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. What is the powerhouse of WIA football? Is it Stratford?
Boy, good question. I think Stratford, Edgar, Division 1, Wanakee, I think you have to throw in that mix.
Muskego.
No, they're not putting Muskego barely can beat McGuanago. Like, what are we talking about here?
Muskego's playing in their 3rd championship in 6 years. And they would have been in a 4th if not for COVID.
And they're coached
All
by
right.
Johnny Sins.
All right, here's the deal. Ask Semmerau to give you his 2 top powerhouses in the state, Division 7
text
and
him
up.
right now.
Let's see
Text
who
him
he
right now.
gives.
Let's
Somebody
get our
actually knows
answers.
what
All
they're
right,
talking
I'll
about.
get on the case with the dean.
All right. You know who knows what they're talking about when it comes to banking, and of course it is Associated Bank. Best customer service in the industry. Packers checking, Badgers checking, Brewers checking, and early pay, which allows you to have access to your direct deposit from your employer up to 2 days early. So when you have an unexpected expense, you're ready for it. You got this with Associated Bank. Go to associatedbank.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client. Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Kevin Moret for Mentality Men's Health. Guys, I know you hate to feel weak. That means something different for every guy, but for most guys, it means the way they look and move through their day. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients see an increase in their muscle mass, their muscle tone, and the way they look? This means our clients got their confidence back. If you're looking to look and feel the way you did years ago, join the over 25,000 guys at Mentality and get your confidence back. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it, I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for free when you mention ESPN and purchase that $2,000 of in-stock jewelry? You'll receive a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield or in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Spend at least $2,000 on in-stock jewelry and you get 2-carat diamond studs free, as long as you mention ESPN. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. Robert Hack Diamonds, RobertHackDiamonds.com, RobertHackDiamonds.com. Visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Green Bay Packers leave Chicago with a 20-19 victory in Week 11, thanks to Carl Brooks blocking a potential game-winning Bears field goal, a game in which the Packers spend most of the time being outplayed. But as head coach Matt LaFleur knows,
I mean, it's one game, so I'm not worried about what's happened in the past. It's one game. It's great to come away with a win when you don't feel like you necessarily played your best.
Jordan Love just 13 of 17 and another interception in the red zone. The Packers welcome 5-5 San Francisco to Green Bay on Sunday for a 3:25 kick.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Before we get to Whoa Nelly, the question that was posed was, Tausch, help me out, the greatest programs in WIAA state football? The GOATs?
You just heard the same conversation I did.
Powerhouse is what Zach said.
That was the word I was looking for. Yes, I knew there was a special word there. And the dean, the great Dennis Semrau, always at our beck and call. Jesse texted him, and he provided an answer to this question.
So in typical Dennis fashion, he cannot choose just one, but he does have a Mount Rushmore for you. He has a Mount...
He's giving us a 4-piece nug.
4-piece nug, sure. Like prize picks,
that's good.
So Dennis has identified the following...
Not that you can do prize picks on WIAA state high school football, just to make it clear.
That is fair.
Come on, Jesse.
I'm not saying you can.
You just brought it up.
I'd take more on Muskego rushing yards if I could, though. Arrowhead, Edgar with the Sins, St. Mary's Springs, and Catholic Memorial. Dennis Semrau's Mount Rushmore of high school football powerhouses in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Any objections?
I'm not objecting. Dennis Semrau has spent 7 years just analyzing this stuff inside and out. I'm not going to object
to Dennis on this. Yeah. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I got to stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Jesse, why would you ask if we object? We asked him for his help. And then we would have him give an answer, then we would say, no, he's wrong?
Well, in fairness, I could see myself objecting if there was something ludicrous down there.
You say like Tausch has never objected to something or debated something that he's not an expert on before. Jason?
I rescind my... I rescind.
Okay,
I was wrong.
Whoa, Nelly!
Come on. Are you new here?
I would not have done that to Dennis. Let me put it that way instead.
Do you guys want to talk about the college football playoff, or do you want to wait to do that tomorrow?
I'm going to be honest with you, Jesse. I'm not a big fan of this new pick an adventure. Whoa, Nelly! Like it's your segment. It's not. What do you guys want to do? Just grab a segment and go with it.
Well, I'm asking because you wanted to get to Paul Fine. You sent me on a goose chase for Paul Finebaum earlier today.
Now we haven't sailed.
No, we can do it to close out the show. In fact,
Nah.
Whoa, Nelly. We're not doing any Whoa, Nelly. We'll do Paul Finebaum.
I'm going to Whoa Nelly. Whoa. I'm Whoa Nelly and you're Whoa Nelly to come back to Whoa Nelly.
You can't. You said Jesse did all the work tracking
Just
down
wait a
this
second.
audio for you.
You can't double stamp a triple stamp? Of course you can.
No, triple dog
I
dare
think
you.
it's in the rules. You can't Whoa Nelly a Whoa Nelly. That doesn't seem.
Now, I don't know if you
to
can
be
Whoa
in the spirit
Nelly
of the
Whoa
game.
Nelly. First off, we never Whoa Nelly anything. Like, rarely have we Whoa Nelly
You
anything.
should
And
sometimes.
now I'm going to Whoa Nelly your Whoa Nelly, thinking that should be
you're
Whoa Nelly the Whoa Nelly.
You're going to tell us about Prize Picks is what you're going to do.
Prize Picks, the best place. I guess Jason won this one, which... Jesse, did you have anything really good that you wanted to hit or not? Prize Picks, the best place
Clearly
to
not.
get real money sports action. Well, I'll tell you what, who's old boy from the Lakers last night? First round
LeBron
pick
James.
from Tennessee.
Bronny.
Connect. He connected on some things last night. Prize Picks,
good
that would have
one.
been a good one to go more on. The only real money daily fantasy platform with injury insurance, so your lineups will stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If they leave in the first half, don't return, Prize Picks will keep your lineup live. Prize Picks puts their members first. All withdrawals fast, safe, and secure. And when your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the app today. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run.
Your
game. We will get to what Paul Finebaum had to say that got Tausch all riled up with
I
plenty
don't know
of
if
time.
I like this precedent you're setting. I don't know if I like this precedent. That you
Precedent,
Whoa Nelly or Whoa Nelly to get no
schmecedents.
more Whoa Nelly.
Jesse did the work to track down this audio for you. You owe it to him to discuss the topic you
This
asked.
one's on
him to
you,
search out.
Paul.
Just wait. It's on me. I'm trying to save Whoa Nelly from Whoa Nelly. And you
Paul,
just got Whoa Nelly by the Nelly.
Tausch Finebaum next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Even when you think you know what's going on,
Well, old men hate cold water because of shrinkage.
you can never be too sure.
I like how you dropped
Is that
your
what it is?
pencil. Like you were just.
Thought we were going to get
Right.
You're not wrong.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
I did not expect to wrap up today's little episode with the word shrinkage. So,
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
The big guy needs your help this holiday season, and he's recruiting the Corners of Brookfield for help because the perfect gift is right around the corners. Head to the Corners for all your gifting needs and find something for anyone thanks to their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. Or just wrap up a Corners gift card to create a great, well-rounded gift. Looking for something only Santa can deliver? Drop off letters in a special North Pole mailbox in the Market Square through December 22nd. Make your shopping list and check it twice. Visit the Corners of Brookfield.com.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home to a generator to keep your lights on or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Experience elite orthopedic care at OAW. Their skilled teams in Pewaukee, Brookfield, and Mukwonago offer tailored treatment for your needs.
The Bucks blew a 12-point halftime lead, but were eventually able to hold off the Houston Rockets for a 101-100 victory at Fiserv Forum. After missing 3 games in concussion protocol, Damian Lillard returned in a big way, hitting a go-ahead driving layup with 4 seconds remaining for Milwaukee.
Lillard drives inside, scoops to the hoop, lays it in with 3.9 seconds to go. The Bucks have taken a 1-point lead.
Lillard finished with 18 points and 10 assists. The Bucks improved to 5-9 overall. Welcome in the Chicago Bulls to Fiserv Forum on Wednesday. Tip-off is at 7.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Book your appointment today at orthowisconsin.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help.
Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
We'll hear from Paul Finebaum. Want to remind you, you can also hear all the best stuff from the Bucks. From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after the game. Get an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in just 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. You can hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame and catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, Tausch, you heard Paul Finebaum say something that, am I describing this correctly, stuck in your craw?
No, I'm so sick and tired of analysts and people that have agendas of pushing their agenda on everybody else with a lot of influence. College football is a flawed deal. Not everything's going to be equal. But we have to get over this, well, this team is better than this team. Well, this team's roster is better than this team. Why are we even playing the blanking games then? If you're not going to actually go with the results of said games, why are we doing this? Oh, well, Georgia's a better team than Indiana. Even though if Georgia has 3 losses and Indiana has 1, Indiana's not playing in some conference. They're playing in the Big Ten, and they're beating their teams. So this whole concept of if Indiana loses, they should be out. And if Georgia loses and they have 3 losses, well, their schedule's hard, all this other stuff. If all things are equal, yes. But at some point, we have to stop projecting ourselves. So should we say, well, I think San Fran, when they're healthy, they're the best team in the league, even though Arizona beat them and the Rams beat them and the Packers beat them. Well, I think they could give the best game to the Chiefs. Well, that's how you're doing it. It's just annoying, and sports needs to still be about the wins and the losses and who is – you're going to do a 12-team playoff. These teams are going to get in. You're going to get to play it out. Let's cut this out with all this other foolishness and sitting there up on our perch and saying the stuff that we're doing.
So let's hear what Finebaum said, because I had not heard this, but this is what got you a little riled up. Here is Paul Finebaum talking about the college football playoff.
when you look at everyone else, Indiana doesn't have a ranked team. They'll get one this weekend. Penn State has lost to one. Every time I get on here every Wednesday morning, Greeny, I say to myself, calm down. Don't be an angry guy. Get off your lawn. But this committee is not serious. There are football coaches on this committee, and there's no way those football coaches can tell me or anyone else with a straight face that they really think Indiana, Penn State, Miami, schools like that are better than Georgia. It's not possible.
So we
want to just go back to the way it used to be, where you just pick the teams, but you want to do 12 teams that you get to pick now instead of 2.
So the AFC South stinks, right? They're not very good. You get the Texans, maybe. So what? You're just going to say, well, that doesn't matter. The ACC is a conference. You have put this into your bylaws as a league and as TV partners and everything else. And yeah, they might not be the best, and the SEC might be. Georgia might be the best team, but they have. If they lose a game, it will be 3 losses, I believe. And if you have 3 losses. And Indiana only has 1, I just want the results of games to matter more than blowhards talking about what they think coaches might think. Is that fair?
It's very fair. And you're not a blowhard, and neither am I. But our show is over. That's it for us today. Well said.
I just feel like we got robbed. I had more to offer on this. I don't love the fact that we had to rush this. I don't. Jesse, I'm sorry. I let you down today by not getting this in earlier, and I think this is a topic people care about.
I'll pay you back by being off the show the next 2 days.
Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had